guys. I think the football talk really kind of put me in a downer because the Bears are going to get their asses kicked. I just want to be honest with you.
I don't know if they're going to get their asses kicked, but they are. I don't think they win.
I mean, their defense plays really shitty against Rodgers always.
Just going to say it this way. And how long we've all been Chicago fans for how long?
Too long.
We always get kicked in the nuts. We're not as bad as the Jets or
we're going to have that
Buffalo or any of those teams or Washington.
I don't know. I'd rather be one of those teams where you know they're bad. But the Bears is kind of like middle and mediocrity.
Yeah, no, but I mean, look at Cleveland. Cleveland, all they had to do was beat the Jets, and all the Jets had to do was lose. So the Jets could have gotten the number one pick for the quarterback.
No, they already fucked it up. They already fucked it up for them.
And Cleveland could have.
They still would have had a chance this week, even though.
And Cleveland, they would have won. They'd be in the playoffs.
They said Urban Meyer is the front runner for the Jags job.
Yeah, right. You don't have to work here. It's going to be like 2010 or 2011. That 1 year where the Bears didn't really have to play. The Bears didn't really have to play Green Bay. They almost won, and then that freaking moron, Chris Conte, he was a safety at the time, blew that wide open coverage. The Bears had that game won, and with 30 seconds left, he just lets Randall Cobb run down the middle of the field and catch a touchdown. That screwed the Bears, and then the Bears ended up playing them.
I remember there was like a slant to the middle. And he ran like 40 yards upfield on it.
Yeah, and then but then they Green Bay went on a tear. Green Bay went on a tear. Ended up playing the Bears in the NFC Championship game, and then Jay Cutler.
That's where he got hurt. He
hurt his knee. Little crybaby.
He tore his MCL.
Couldn't get his mind out of his locker fast enough.
He tore an MCL, dude.
We found out this over the weekend that Myladol is pretty much just aspirin.
Yeah.
So you could just say get the aspirin.
Midol sounds more.
Yeah.
When you're making fun of
more appropriate for that little pansy.
Mm-hmm.
Give the guy a break, Chris. They weren't going to win it. They weren't going.
He had an MCL sprain, and he couldn't get back out there.
The sprain is a torn. It's a tear of an MCL.
Listen, he couldn't. He tried. He played the rest of the half of it. Couldn't play. He came out and was like, "Hey, you got a better shot playing with another quarterback."
Oh yeah, Caleb Payne my ass.
All right, well that's enough.
Was it Haney or was it McCown?
Caleb Payne was Caleb Payne.
Oh, remember that was hilarious. And there you go.
Caleb Haney's fame to glory is when he played the Raiders like the next season, and on fourth down decides to clock the ball with 11 seconds and turn the ball over.
Hey, football's hard, man. There's a lot of downs, right? It's hard to keep track of them all.
That's
like Booger McFarland telling the freak last year on ESPN Monday Night Football, telling the Cowboys or whatever, the Giants to clock the ball on fourth down. I'm like, no, he did not just say that.
Well, he's an interesting guy, anyways. He had a big rant this week too. He went off on
but you have to. They're all dumb, and those like what's his face? Who's the other guy that every time he's got an opinion, like a loudmouth opinion?
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith.
We just clickbait.
Yeah, but that's Twitter too. They're all they're on ESPN for that reason. There's no really good analysts out there. There's a few, but you're not going to make it in this if you're, you know what I mean? You're not going to be at, because ESPN, they need you to.
I feel like they hire personalities and 100%. Not, and then the people that they come in, like those normal guests, like, or, and you know, like that do come on, those are the people that are actually doing the analyzing, but they're not, you know, permanent.
Remember that commercial with Hey Ma? It was, I forget, Eric, the NFL beat reporter for Seattle, but he did like the rocker.
Oh, John Clayton.
John Clayton. He was awesome. But again, he just wasn't a huge personality. So instead of him being national.
Did he retire?
No. They fired him from national. And they stuck him in, they kept him in Seattle.
Okay. My favorite thing about Booger McFarland was, I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, where he called out the Mississippi, I think it was Mississippi State. It was some team in the SEC where the cornerback was yapping at the wide receiver right before a play. He's like, yeah, you can't, they're not going to throw you the ball. You can't get past me. I'm going to cover you all day. You're not going to catch one pass. And then the wide receiver on the next play literally just burns this cornerback for a touchdown. And the guy turns around and you just see this cornerback like walking away like tail tucked between his legs.
Well,
Booger McFarland's like just tearing this guy on, what is it? Come On Man. It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
I think it's Come On Man from, what's his face?
Chris Carter.
Yeah, Chris Carter.
I think it's funny that they fired Chris Carter and they still do his bit. Though.
Yeah, and then a little bit. Didn't that start with?
It was like it was. I think it was Chris Carter and Keyshawn Johnson, and Dick was on Monday Night Football, and they all did it.
Okay, enough of this stupid bullshit sport. We got pick'ems coming up. I have a gift for everybody that I been holding on to for what is it now, 2 weeks? Everybody gets a lotto ticket.
Chris, if you want to,
we don't have to scratch it now, or you can scratch it while we talk. But yeah, I like that's like one of my go-tos. If I don't know you, or if I don't really want to spend a lot on gifts,
if I don't like you,
I just no, it's actually not the worst.
I like how Pat Lynch got the $3 one, and we got Jip for $2.
Would you like the $3 one, Christopher?
No.
You sure, Chris?
Listen, I think we have better odds on the $2 than we do the $3.
If Pat Lynch wins, we're gonna kick his ass. This doesn't have any type of edge to it, sir.
Why are you so whiny and blowing?
It's so whiny.
Is the concussion affected your health?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, okay. Can we talk about that? Because I have how did that go?
What coin do you want, Christopher?
Give me a quarter, damn it.
Okay, I'll just take mine.
Like mine's like bingo. I have to scratch a number, scratch the bottom. Okay, yeah, Chris, all right, so we're going a little bit of New Year's Eve.
Big tree falls hard. Big tree falls hard.
And our New Year's plans this year was to go skiing. And Chris and a couple other people, it was their first time, so it was like me. It was like a ski. Like I taught a skiing. How to ski school for individuals on New Year's Eve. It was a blast. Joe, it was ridiculous when you first went skiing compared to when they went for skiing.
Really?
You're like, hey, Joe, go down this bunny hill once. Okay, you kind of see how you know how to stop now? All right, now we're going to go do black diamonds.
That was how it was, kind of. It was like, it was like 3 or 4 times down the bunny hill, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then once I got on the mountain, that's where I was like, oh, you need to turn, you need to do these things, but you can't pick that up until you do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, with them, it was, okay, we're going to do this really, really tiny hill. Okay, you guys feel comfortable? Okay, let's go to a little bit higher bunny hill. Okay. Still not feeling very, okay. And then we went down that like 9 times.
Mm-hmm.
Like
then we go down to like the little bit, just a little tiny bit higher mountain hill from that one. They got comfortable there. And then finally, with like a couple hours to go, we got them to do one ski lift up to the top. And Chris pulls a Joe Keneally where he doesn't know how to stop. And instead of like just going on, he's good.
No, that was the last round for Chris.
Yeah,
that was the first
the whole time was Chris could.
Yeah, well, I couldn't.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But I didn't fall on the first one that went up on
Joe
the ski.
Keneally does not know how to stop.
No, yeah. I don't know how to stop.
You made it seem like you got us on one. You got me on one ski lift ride off a hill and went down that hill and fell on that one. No, that was like my 3rd or 4th time on the ski lift.
Okay, but so Chris did not know how, was not able to stop.
No, I was not able to stop.
And that's honestly, seriously, like the way I learned that was in moments like that. I was like, oh fuck, I didn't realize momentum's a thing. I forgot about that. And then you just take off and you're like, ah.
And but Chris did really well. He was getting around people, didn't kill anybody, which is great. And then
that's probably the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Honestly. Other than like your fear, because your fear is what determines how fast you go, but maneuvering around people.
You know what also makes you go fast, Joe? Is gravity. It's a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris did a really good job all day, like just picking it up and just going. And of course on the last one,
so that's where it happens.
Chris, we get him, and so all day I was with them. Like I never took off.
Yeah.
And on this one I was like, fuck it. Chris did the last couple times fine. He just got to the bottom. And I flew. Just fucking flew. Because it was also like last call.
Mm-hmm.
So I flew and I wanted to get on one more time. And I figured I could just catch them again.
Oh, I see what you... Okay. Yeah. All right. I get it.
Oh, I get it, Peter. You got to get all these, right?
Yeah. I went on to the fucking ski lift.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't see Chris, but I saw Pat doing pizza and all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza. And I was like, oh, Chris, where the fuck did he go? He must have fallen up at the top or something. And I come down, Chris, Pat, and him have their skis standing at the bottom, holding their skis.
I'd gotten down to like halfway, and then I got in air, and I went down, and I slowed down a lot. And then I went down the second time, and I was going down, and I could not. I was pizza in it, and it was not stopping quick enough. And I'm heading like right towards like the line where the chairlift is at. So I'm like, I gotta bail. So I like fall backwards, and then I get up, and I'm like, okay, got my shit together, and then I see Chris sort of waddling over towards me, and I'm like, Chris has this fucking bulge on his head. It's like bleeding. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you?
No.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
What happened?
We were coming down the last hill, and I was flying down, and I just couldn't slow down. Like, that was the other issue I had besides stopping was I couldn't control my speed. Like, I was just flying. Like, Peter would tell me, like, you're like Joe. Like, Joe just literally goes down the hill as fast as he can, and somehow miraculously stops at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I'm just flying. I'm like, going down the sun. I'm like, I'm going way too fast. I'm like coming down, and like there's a little kid in the middle. I'm like, what the hell out of the way, little kid? And his dad like comes out of nowhere, tries to get his kid, and I'm just flying down this thing, and I'm like trying everything to stop, like turning sideways, trying to like pizza,
yeah,
and like I'm like trying to like Peter's like it's like kind of like rollerblading. You want to put like the pressure on the back of your heel for the ski because like you know how you have the rubber stop on it. So I tried that, and when I did that, my ski must have just got stuck or something because I went forward and just kaboom right into the ice.
On the second chairlift we went.
Oh, so you went like boom, like drop.
Yeah, like literally, I just like I hit like I felt like my ski like hit the snow and
caught something.
It caught something, and I just went like tumbling forward.
On the second.
How was the snow? Because this
it was very icy at the end. It was very icy at the end.
Okay.
Yeah,
by the end it got pretty icy.
It was good, but like if you hit the ground at the end there.
Because when the last time we went, Peter,
that
it was
terrible.
Fresh snow, and so your ski would get in there, and it could just like. It's like if you ever see something in the water just like hit water once it gets under and it just like turns. Yeah. That's exactly what your ski's doing, and it's terrifying.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible.
On the second one, we went for the second chairlift after the girls retired for the day. I was going over. I was like slowing down, sort of going at a gradual speed, and I was like, I'm going to pick up a little speed. As soon as I did that, I came around there's like the double sort of like it levels out and then went down again. As soon as I got to the second one, this lady fell down like right in front of me, and I'm like,
I won! Woo!
I'm like oh shit! So I had to bail out. Like I was going to stop that quickly to get her down.
Pat Lynch almost took me and Peter out on the chairlift too.
Yeah,
I have fucked up on the chairlift so many times.
Well, there's a guy.
This wasn't really Pat Lynch's fault. We're coming up,
and I see this. There's a guy that's fallen like literally right where I will go down.
Yeah.
So I was the first one to hit. And I went right. And Chris got cut off completely. Woo! And then me and Peter are basically hip to hip going down the hill, going down a little like hill. While Chris is like on the ground, like trying to get up because I've
winner chicken dinner, bitches.
I don't think I didn't win anything. Did you guys win anything?
No. You won $10?
$10, bitches.
That's awesome.
Peter knew which card to keep for himself.
Yeah. I did. I went to the guys like,
yeah, scan them.
Let me know. No, it was a good time. It was Joe. Like when we go skiing, how you literally off the mountain onto the ski lift right away up. Yep. Off the mountain, right up. It was the longest lines I've ever seen. The most amount of people I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, it was insane.
Well, it's because this is only an hour and a half from Chicago.
When we thought about it, it was like, when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, you're not the only fucking person who thinks skiing on New Year's Eve is a good idea. Mm-hmm. Dumb. And so it was great, but towards the end, it everybody got the fuck off, and it worked out so much better because then we could just go. So within like the last 2 hours, like the last hour, we hit like 5, like hit the skis 5 times. Like
what would you say was because this is Alpine, right? That you went. Mm-hmm. What would you say the most comparable run in when we go to Michigan? Because I imagine those are much bigger.
The middle ones look pretty steep. Let's see the three.
Like I'm thinking like length.
Those Michigans compared. Oh, there's no length. Oh no, these are like they're honestly like 2-3 minutes at most.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean.
That's better than I thought though. I thought they would be shorter.
The chairlifts are literally 5 minutes, so it's like down in 2. So it's some of the black diamonds are, but some of those black diamonds are probably blues in Michigan.
Gotcha.
It would have been just me and the blacks. And I tried to do one black as the last one, but the fucking ski lift was just went up to the same blue ones we've been doing.
So, would you guys do it again?
I skied before, so yes, like I said, we do it again.
I'm definitely going again. Woo woo!
Christopher?
I'm not losing my $10.
No, goddamn truth. No, I would.
Yeah? It was
it was fun until I fell.
Yeah, of course.
You know where we messed up is we let that be his last run too. I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
And his skis were off already. If I would have seen it, like no.
He also might have had a minor concussion.
I mean,
I didn't have a minor concussion, but like my head hurt and like I was My body was a little sore after that one. I'm like, yeah, that's good. That's good.
I've never hit my head. I've definitely there was one I was going down. It was just basically straight down.
We also thought they were going to close the lifts, which they never did.
Maybe they. I was just going straight down, and I hit a bump, and it probably wasn't even a bump. It was like a quarter on the hill. Caught like a split second of air, and then I started screaming. Do you remember this? This is the last time, and I got the big old red raspberry.
Well, I was
all up my back.
There was two. One where you remember we come around the curve and you came a little too high.
That was always the scariest one.
Yeah, or you just came.
We were probably like 70 yards
or
from,
the one where
from trees.
Last year, where like the snow and we're going. You mean like we just could not stop on these black diamonds.
Yeah,
and or if you're gonna stop, it was fucking miserable. And then I was on the ski lift with John. And we were screaming at you, and you're screaming all the way down, and you fell, and everybody on the fucking ski list were cheering for you.
That's the one. That's the last one I remember.
Yeah.
But the first one was that turn.
Yeah.
Where I just didn't know it was. I think it was my first black.
I didn't know that you got the.
And
black
it was my
turn.
first black, and it was a turn.
Yeah.
And I took it, and I remember seeing trees off like straight ahead of me, so I had to go left. And I remember just losing it because I hadn't really turned at that speed yet. Started going, and then all of a sudden I was just seeing snow in the air, and I thought to myself, I was like, oh, I'm in the trees now. Like, it's all happening so fast, I can't feel anything yet, but all I just see is like
we also got Joe nice and tight.
Oh,
right,
real
right,
toasty. Because I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then it was just like going, and then gone.
Here's the difference between guys and girls, though. The ladies that came with us, it was so very, like even pace, like, no, I can't do that. I have to, like, we're guys like Chris, just go. Mm-hmm. And then you figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that's better in skiing. It's like, there's the practicality of like, hey, I don't want to get hurt. But like,
I think Katrina also said too, like that on the one green, when we did go the long way, that was like the easier long one. Like it gave them more time to sort of figure out what they were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally fell 6 times in the first
that's the other thing,
first little hill, and then she got him. I'm like, you need to just kind of like you need to, go a little wider and we'll go a little slower down this thing. And then she didn't fall down the whole second part of the hill, but she fell 6 times in the first part. And I broke it up 6 times.
And I think it's a little bit like that's good because you're not going to get hurt. Mm-hmm. But I think it just takes longer to learn because you're not putting yourself into situations where like, oh fuck, I got to learn on the spot.
You're kind of pushing yourself and pushing that boundary to get better.
But I'll never forget, like when I'm 17 years old and we first went, it was literally you try to slow and then at some point you're just like fuck it and you hit it and you go and then you had to stop at the end and that was me skitting at the
first
learning that was like the best thing because you could turn with that and you could also slow down with that. It's like that hockey stop with both.
The other problem is honestly it was for them and I didn't think about it just right now is there was just so many people that it's so much harder to learn. Like
that's
where it's wide open with us. You can make mistakes and not hurt anybody. Like there was
Christ, there was a couple times where I was just like, fuck, I'm gonna kill somebody.
I mean, I've gone with you now 3 times?
Yeah,
3 times. Every time we were there though, it was like, hey, a new guy, here's 3-4 teachers to kind of like be in front of you and behind you too. So you're 100%. Now the only person and now you have 5 people. Yeah. It's a very different.
I remember the first time I went skiing, I never skied my entire life, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I went down like the bunny lift twice." He's like, "Yeah, let's go. We'll go up the lift." Like, what? Oh, okay. I did not know how to stop, and I could not the whole day. I got to the bottom and I fell over. That's how I stopped. That's why I stopped every time. I wiped out every time at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I don't know what's better. Honestly, thinking about it now.
But when you're like 18 years old, your body can your body can handle it a little easier.
The best is Lauren every time she would fall, I'd literally just pick her up by the arm and be like, okay. Where like that was one of the things you didn't want to look. You didn't want to fall because fucking getting up was so miserable.
Katrina fell like the weirdest, like her like leg would be almost like pinned like behind her, so she can't like get up without like moving. It's like how did you get in this position?
But everybody was good. Everybody was a champ. We went from 11 to 5. You were perfect all day, like weather wise, like it was perfect. But as soon as you stopped, it was freezing.
Oh yeah.
The other thing is, it reminded me of being back in like almost non-COVID times because the lounges had it was packed to the gills.
Oh,
nobody
really?
Nobody cared about masks felt like it was.
I think like you had to walk in with the mask on, but
yeah.
once you were in there, the mask didn't matter.
Some little kid went to
This was in
some little kid
Wisconsin,
kid cut Chris off in the bathroom.
Oh, that little
bang bang
fucking
as he
piece of
walked
shit.
in the darkness.
He's like, Peter and Pat are in the washroom. I'm standing outside. It's a 2-person bathroom. The little kid's like, yo, man, you waiting in line? I'm like, yeah. He's like, cool. Just walked right past me inside the bathroom. I'm like, I swear to God.
How old is this kid?
He was 8 years old. Like,
I'm gonna walk it out of here, Chris. You son of a bitch!
all I could do, I literally thought like, man, I could just pick you up by the back of your freaking pants and just give you a swirly in this toilet right now and be the fucking, just leave your ass here, you little shitbag.
Oh my God! I picture the kid from. What is that movie with Paul Rudd where him and Sean
Role Models?
Scott? Yeah, and the little kid. He's
yes,
like this mouthy little kid who's just like, fuck
no,
you, do it.
Penis.
Yeah. That's what I imagined.
Yeah,
like, who did that
It
to
was
Chris?
ridiculous. Just like, and then so at the lounge, like, it would have been so much fun, but it's just not. It wasn't worth the risk. So we literally got in, got 2 beers, and walked immediately outside.
Yeah.
3 beers, right? We topped off.
We topped off on drinks.
I'm like, hey, is anyone just come on, let me slide one out? Because it was me, Chris, and Pat. I'm like, come on, let me just slide one out.
Yeah.
And
It's like, I'll top you off.
I can top you off. And I was like, this is what you can do. This is what you can do.
Yeah.
But we were fucking. I forced everybody to have a beer before, or 2 beers before. Then we came back at 1, warm, had some snacks, had some more beers. So like, kind of got tried to cut the edge, and the girls were like, no, I need my senses, and it's just like, no, you need to not care. That's how you.
There's like, it really is like a thing. It's honestly, because when you're in it, you're so nervous, and there's a level of like 1 or 2, maybe 3 beers where you're like you're more relaxed, but you still have your wits about you, and you still have your physicality.
Yeah, where we put
and that's
you
where
at
you
one time,
like. That's where you learn it. What's that?
Where we let you when you hit that curve. At that point,
oh, that's your golden spot to learn what you can, and then you're just gonna keep on, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Keep it moving, and you just keep on going, and then you're like, I can do anything,
That's There's nothing better than being a little buzzed and hitting that fucking that speed.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
You though, see, I'm not like this. You like to listen to music going down the hill.
Oh, I love it.
I'm not a big guy in music. I kind of love the sound of the wind going by, hearing my skis on the snow.
Just fucking.
Oh, I put my headphones on.
You got headphones on too? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Loved it to death.
It was nice, considering, especially like on some of those like hills that we were on, like just like going to like the conveyor belt, like they would take you up the hill, stand on the silk, and having the ability to listen to music while like you're standing in line waiting for the get on or like if the conveyor belt stopped because somebody fell off of it.
What, you didn't like the 80s music, the 80s rock they were blaring from the Club to the Lodge?
I couldn't really hear it all too well.
Gonna get the
bottle opener.
Yeah. So what? So Pat,
I mean, like I didn't mind the music that they were playing, but I just couldn't hear it from like.
What do we got here? We got
New
Glarus.
It's a variety pack from New Glarus. You got the Spotted Cow, obviously. Where's New Glarus? They're in Wisconsin.
Well, what is it?
It's a
brewery from Wisconsin.
Yeah, they're employee owned. They only sell in Wisconsin for some reason.
Yep.
It's a shame. I feel like if they sold it in Chicago, it would kill. I really do think it would.
It's kind of like Coors, like the banquet beer back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody goes to Wisconsin.
It's like Yingling in the East Coast.
Yeah, you ask for them to grab you some Spotted Cow because you're never gonna get some until you go out there.
Yeah.
So but I mean, it's good. It's not. It's not Coors Light.
No.
So we have the original Spotted Cow, which I think most people.
So we got a variety pack. I don't know if you said that, but yeah.
And then the second one is a lager. It's a 2 women. It's called 2 women lager.
That's not bad. Yeah. I like that a lot.
That's a little bit fruitier, isn't it?
It's not fruitier. It's lighter.
It's smoother, yeah.
It's smoother.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have as much.
The Moon Man is a No Coast Pale Ale, which I'm guessing is a play on the West Coast Pale Ale. And the final one is a Fat Squirrel, which is an ale. Similar to Spotted Cow, but I think it's a little heavier, right? If I'm mistaken.
I went by the labels on the top instead of looking at the bottom. So, like, the Moon Man looked like it was probably going to be a little bit lighter, but more, like, hoppy.
It's more of a pale ale,
This is definitely, I thought based on that was going to be definitely darker.
Mm-hmm.
2 women, definitely going to be lighter.
And the Spotted Cow and the Fat Squirrel, both ales.
And, again, we're going to stamp all the bottles out. Yep. And if you have any questions, you can hit us up at the S&P podcast at gmail.com, or you can check us out on Instagram at podcast S&P or Twitter podcast S&P.
Terrific. Finally got him right.
I've always had him right, mother.
I know. I was the one that fucked that up. And then
There's no
even
here.
yesterday or last week.
Which one did you get, Chris?
I got the Fat Squirrel.
How's that tasting?
I like it.
Yeah?
It's almost like a Boston lager, Sam Adams.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I like that. We should definitely check out. That's like another thing, hopefully. I mean, as we get into 2021, hopefully things start to open up at some point in the world.
Did you guys come in to 2021 with resolutions?
I was going to bring that up. I definitely have one from last year. I wanted to read more, and I didn't do it. And I think a lot of that was based on just the work schedule. We worked a lot more late nights,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to come home. Like you're coming home at 9, going to bed, getting up to work out.
Yeah.
There's just not a lot of time. And then I didn't succeed in being more productive is after work, after like in November, once all like the busy season was over finally, I literally come home, I'd cook dinner, and I'd just go watch TV. Like I would just like HBO Max on the iPad or whatever. And it was, so my goal is to, and I've already tried to start at like January 1st being more organized, more productive. And I'm hoping to kind of continue that. And then also I really want to get at least try to hardcover 10 books. That my goal is 10 books. A couple financial books, something, educational. Just because I'm not doing a whole lot of that anymore without school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely that's kind of like organized. The other thing is trying not to work as much, kind of work, work smarter so I don't have to work as,
Yeah.
I think, things start to repeat too much. Time goes faster.
Yeah. And it's very easy to fall. It's
trap.
good. It's good to
Yes,
fall into a routine. I think a routine is important, but it's also once you're in that, then it's easy to be in that and let things kind of fly by.
Yeah. And then like the last thing is try not to like I'm not good at losing and I've never been good at it. And just you're not going to change that like overnight.
Mm-hmm.
It's more just recognizing what is causing that and try to figure out ways to be better about it. It's not easy. That's like the hardest thing in the entire world. But
Northwestern was a real heartbreaker yesterday for Peter.
yes,
that was could say some offense yesterday, huh?
That quarterback didn't suck yesterday.
I thought they weren't going to score any points.
Yeah, well, I kept ringing in my head. So just to give everybody an insight, me, Pat, and Chris came to a consensus at the breakfast table yesterday that Northwestern was going to lose, and we saw a video,
or at least not cover the 4.5 points.
not cover the 4.5. And we watched a video on this guy, and he gave us all these points why Northwestern should lose. And in the middle of the video, he's like, SEC biased, of course. And in my head, he just kept ringing SEC biased, and this motherfucker he was like SEC. That's it. This is an SEC team. They're not gonna Northwestern. And if we would have dug a little bit into Northwestern, it was their defensive coach's last game. He needed one more win for 400. Yada yada yada. It could have been. And Northwestern whooped the boo.
Pat Fitzgerald told them that they're playing the University of Iowa, even though they weren't playing the University of Iowa.
This is an interesting thing though that I've heard about, and I've been. Yeah. So one of my things is to read more, and I started before New Year's. I was like, don't wait for it, just going out. If this is a goal, go.
Yep.
I was reading something on gambling and statistics, and some guy's opinion was, although a lot of things that. One thing that's very heavy and prevalent and almost dominating in every aspect is gambling's very heavy, like stat-based.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great because, in a sense, yes, the numbers are going to play, but a lot of people forget to play the people. Yep. And if there's like personal things going on, like which is such an interesting and integral part like that. Yeah. It seems like that determined.
It's just knowing. So it's easier when you know. Like, I don't bet a lot of. I try, like, if I'm going to bet college football, I go and seek information because I don't know. But when I'm playing, like when I'm betting like the NBA, I love the NBA. I love to watch the NBA. I read about the NBA, so I feel like I have a little bit better of an understanding. Yeah. So I'll look at what people say and I'll be like, no. But I did get tricked last night. I was on an 0 for 6 or 0 for 5 betting streak. I bet the Clippers last night. Because I read a couple articles like, there's no way that they won't cover 4 points. I was like, okay, good. This will help. Like, I'll get off the snide. And I was thinking to myself, I'll just take the night off, whatever. And again, I'm only betting like a couple bucks here and there. And I'm watching a documentary, and I look at the score, and I'm like, you're down 15 points. Fuck you. Like, seriously? Like, you son
I just
of a
imagine
bitch.
Pierre throwing his phone across the room.
No,
Oh, man.
phone.
I realized it was what was frustrating me. Just let it go. Tried to like think about it, let it go. But I mean, it's never gonna be. It's not always gonna be that easy. But yeah, we got off this night today. We won one with an under. So
That's
feeling good, baby. Feeling good.
That's so funny.
So reading anything else or?
Oh yeah, so I've got. I mean, mine are.
I hate that we have to wait. Not that we have to, but we all come to every year and think this should be something you reevaluate every month or every 6 months.
So this is So my thought was I realized I was coming towards the end of the year, and I was like, I'm not a big resolution guy, but I'm like, there's definitely things I've realized I need to improve on, and so reading was one of them, and I was like, why not start? So I bought a book on my phone on the Amazon app or something.
Oh, I love
and
that, yeah.
I'm like, instead of going on Reddit or whatever I'm going on it before bed, I just read a couple pages here or something. So started doing that. That's one thing. Another thing is just like being better, like health conscious about food and stuff like that. Because especially come Thanksgiving, and I know it's the holidays, but it's like I was also very gluttonous and just in a non-necessary way. So I'm like, I'm going to try and I got good before that. That was really good. You know, get back on that, a little more health conscious. Exercising, of course. Keeping up like the mental health stuff. I've become more aware of that. So, you know, just trying. That's helped.
I think that's a huge thing.
That's helped. Like it's almost like in terms of imagery, like planting a seed, and then it sprouts into everything. Yeah. And it just like try to improve and work on everything. So self-improvement, but like I don't know. I don't think of it as like floozy. It's like no, you know.
Yeah.
That
and just checking in with yourself. I think I've honestly kind of noticed that too because like the end of the year was kind of tough with like the stock market and that stuff can really take a toll on you, and then that ages you, like that stress and stuff. I'm like, it's not good. Like,
there's a thing about like getting into a tunnel, and if all you listen to is that one thing, it's just gonna
like
you're gonna
pandemic.
And so you think everybody's dying, all this bad stuff is going on, and you're like, geez, shit really sucks right now. And then you step outside and you're like, okay, not everything's burning down. It's not as bad as you think it is, but you know, if you just look at one thing,
and I think like it's easy for me to say. You hear this all the time, but with a lot of people, like how they get their news. Like if you're a Fox News person, if you're NBC or whatever, CNN, like you're only getting one type of news. So then you think that's what's going on in the world, and instead of kind of seeing it from all angles, no, that's really I got that. I with the pandemic, there was honestly a time where I was so scared because I was reading articles like, you know, all these people are dying, all these people are getting sick, like your parents are gonna die if they get it, and I was legitimately, I was like, holy fuck, I need to stop with the news because I got really really paranoid that like like we were still going to bars, we were still going to restaurants. I was like, holy shit, I'm gonna kill my parents if I keep this up. And then it was like, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that the strain before the new strains wasn't as contagious, I don't think. Now it's a little bit more sketchy. They think the rise in October is that new strain maybe. Because it kind of went from like in September.
The one from UK?
Yes, but like that mutation, they think it might have, because if you think about it, in September, August, September wasn't that crazy.
Okay.
So August, September, the numbers were, and then out of nowhere, it just shot to shit.
Yeah.
And then remember, that was right after
I just thought it was because it was winter.
That's true, but like,
I mean, I'm not saying that's the reason. I'm just saying, like, as that was happening, that's just what I thought, was the reason. But go on.
No, but, and so I just read an article that they think maybe that mutation has been here since October and could be, because the one from England is much more contagious, and they got a new one in Africa. They got a mutation in Africa, that they think it's not any more deadly or that the vaccine or anything, but it's just more contagious.
I haven't done much reading into it, but the only real window into it is our friend Vishu, who lives in England right now, and then I have a couple of cousins in Ireland, and it seems like they're going on with their life. It seems like it's a lot. Well, it was until they went back into their lockdown, but it looked like I don't know how it is
too. You're right. Yeah, maybe it's just people just kind of got too comfortable
talking about a tunnel. I don't know how it is in other countries.
Yeah.
I only know how it is in the U.S.
Yeah, and what we read was that
not all the U.S. is created equally.
No, that's true. I mean,
across the border to Wisconsin, it's a very different.
Oh yeah, and then, again, yeah, Joe. We literally we drove after dinner. Especially when we went to dinner, we all had our mask on. Everybody, and it was all older people at this restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cared about masks. Like the waiters and waitresses did, and they tried to but everybody there didn't give a shit. And they were looking at us for wearing masks. I go in the washroom. There's an old man coughing up a lung. You think he's got a mask on? And it's like, come on, dude. Like you're the example of what you're gonna die in a hospital bed by themselves, and you're gonna leave your kids not being able to say goodbye. Like, how hard is it to? But then again, there are people who don't.
You see all these videos of people freaking out, and I mean, here in Chicago, everyone wears a mask. Like, I went to go shopping today, and even on the sidewalk, people are wearing masks.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was running today.
It's like that's how it is here.
Yeah.
But other places, it's not.
Not at all. So we're driving back. We're just driving through Geneva to Lake Geneva to kind of look at the surrounding area. Just kind of get, because I've never been there. Mm-hmm. We're looking at the downtown area, and there's a bar there that was packed to the gills. No, like it didn't look like people were like really wearing masks, and it was like a normal New Year's Eve like bar scene.
Oh type. Yeah, okay.
It was like, holy shit! Like I can't wait for that to come back.
I know.
I looked at it and I'm like, it's not worth the risk at all.
Yeah.
But once the vaccines, everybody's were a little bit more comfortable. That
I read something. Speaking of, I read something that in Chicago, it could be coming a lot sooner than I think a lot of people thought. But
I mean, their rollout has not been. It's surprised everybody. How bad the rollout's been.
Oh yeah.
Large March says that we're going to be in the third group of essential workers to possibly get the vaccine. They're like they grouped like essential workers into like different slots. So like 1A is like nurses and like people in like nursing homes and stuff like that. 1B is I think like first responders like cops, paramedics, stuff, and then 1C is like finance people. So
really,
I mean, I don't understand.
No, I get what you're saying. It's not, you're not making the rules. I'm rolling my eyes.
I would think it'd be like field sales people.
I don't know.
I don't think they've been doing. I would. Yeah, that's who I would think is.
Think it's so that they can go back to work.
Yeah.
So they don't have to worry about these poor people who have to serve or like FedEx, UPS people.
Mm-hmm.
That's who's got the better lobbying power.
This is just in Illinois, or is this nationwide?
I'm assuming it's Illinois. Yeah.
That's the other reason is again we don't have with the change in guard. Trump was like, "Hey, states take."
I mean, I haven't seen anything on it. It was just my mom telling me about it.
I have a question, and I, it's been like flip flopping, and it's a government question. So, the $600 check thing was supposed to happen.
It happened.
People have gotten it.
Okay, but I thought they had rejected it, and it was now going to be 2,000.
No, said he was going to 2,000. They've rejected the 2,000.
They rejected,
and they went home, so you know he's getting 2,000.
Okay,
not right now at least. We'll see.
Well, but okay, we're not gonna. We can have the whole podcast on this. But God, does it piss me off that like, I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I think she is her and all of them. They're all just politicians. But she today or last night she got like her house got vandalized. Like they put a pig's head and then like red paint on like her driveway and stuff. And we're like, we want all the money, $2,000, and it's just like. I feel like people think like she controls the 2,000. Like she hasn't been fighting for you to get the 2,000.
Yeah,
it's some people don't want. That's why we have two sides to it. Some people want it, some people don't want it, and people who didn't want it didn't even let you vote for it. So,
yeah.
But to go after her, it's so silly. Yeah. But I mean again could have a whole podcast on this. Listen, I'm happy for the people who are getting it. I think everybody I know who's gotten it just use it for savings. Like. They're like, I got $600. Like they don't have any expenses right now to use it on.
Yeah,
and might as well save it just in case you need it for rent or something at some point.
Yep.
Chris, you got any resolutions?
Not really.
Are you just perfect, huh?
No, I'm not perfect. Far from it. Two things I'm trying to do are I'm doing the carnivore diet again for the month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I have been trying to do, I started at the end of like the last 2 weeks, right before Christmas, is I'm trying to
bathe
move
regularly. Sorry,
No.
no, go ahead.
No, bathe regularly.
I was gonna say he's looking great too.
Oh, I know he is. He's so
Dude,
dude.
the beard.
I love
stuff
it.
looks
It's
great.
yeah.
Oh.
It is fantastic.
Besides the huge bump on my forehead,
Dude, I'm telling you, it's not a bump, and it does.
But
Yeah,
the other
It
thing
was a bump when he first got it.
I'm sure, man.
But the other thing I'm trying to do is, and I started right before Christmas, was increasing my speed on the treadmill.
Mm.
So
Nice.
instead, like I can run, like I feel like Peter like can run like a 6.5 mile pace in his sleep, and like I come.
No, I was running.
No, I mean not a 6.
I
I apologize. Not a 6.5 mile pace, a 6.5 speed on the treadmill
Oh,
in your sleep.
Yeah,
Which is like a 9,
yeah, it's just
9.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's nothing.
But I mean, like exactly, like I can run speed of 5 miles per hour on the treadmill, which is a 12-minute pace.
Yeah.
And it's just like now it's become so easy, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to push myself a little bit more on the treadmill.
Yeah, no, you should. I like that. I like that idea of like that's one thing. Also for me is like just always trying to push, like
Yeah.
push yourself.
I mean, my idea is like to get to like before, hopefully like summertime or at least toward the end of the year to have like a 9.5 minute pace or something. I mean, like I've been running
Great, yeah.
when we're outside running and I'm not like on a treadmill. I've been trying to keep like that 9-minute pace, but it'd be nice to, on a treadmill, just be able to consistently run a 9.5 minute, pace. And hopefully get there summertime, maybe the end of the year. That's what I'm looking for.
Cool. Pat, what you thinking, baby? As Pat puts away ice, and we're getting ready for a little whiskey.
Whisker. This is a Whistle Pig, piggyback, 100% rye, aged 6 years in oak barrels.
You want me to get the shot glass?
Yes, please.
Pat, tell us what you changing up this year.
Yeah. Do you have anything?
No, I don't really do full. I sort of just look at. I do like goals throughout the year. I don't really do like one like at the beginning of the year stuff. And things can change. Like you don't know like everything. Think about this way. Like even in 2020, you probably had people had all these resolutions, and then 3 months of the year went to shit, and your whole goals had to change. So I sort of go through. I sort of reevaluate stuff every quarter.
Okay, so what did you reevaluate this quarter?
I'm still working on organization wise, just being more organized in general, and sort of like what you said. Like I feel like I want to work smarter and not like so many hours would be good. So I think that I need to manage my process and times a little bit better.
Well, that's good. I get that. Joe, here, fill me up, baby boy.
Thank you, sir.
Especially with like the taxes.
I think that's an interesting thing though that.
I never get. It sucks. It's easy to say right out there at the end of the season, but once you get into busy season, it's such a pain.
No, but that's so interesting though. I feel like at least us three. I don't think Chris mentioned it, but is to work less.
Oh yeah.
In a time where it's been like unprecedented, people just getting laid off nonstop.
Well, that's one of the reasons too. Because I've been for the last half of the year. I did two people's jobs pretty much.
No, you're right, Joe. Like, and not.
But I
mean, I hope it doesn't come off as like we're sounding.
No, I was just going to bring that to like we're lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and I don't want us to sound like it's just we're working. I'm working. I mean, every week I'm working 70, 80 hour weeks.
I got two of my vacation days back because I was answering so many calls for work when I was off.
That's nice of them.
Yeah.
Also, I think like charging for my services. Like, I think I don't do a good enough job of that. Like, I'll just do things and not even. There's just being more. Noticing when I'm doing work for people and not charging, so that because no one's gonna, you got to get paid for what you're worth.
That's one thing. That's Dave Kells. That's one thing he's actually. I've learned a lot from Dave on the billing side of stuff.
I hate. See, that's my problem. Is I hate billing.
Oh shit!
So
fix that. I gotta fucking get a bill out. Fuck me.
What's up?
I gotta get a bill out.
Oh yeah.
I meant to do some work on it last week and I didn't do it.
You know what? It's another kind of crazy thing that. So I watched the documentary last night. And just kind of thinking like, because we're working really hard and we all have goals. We want to be to a point at some point in our lives where money isn't. It's more of it's there. Because we're never. I don't think we're. Maybe God willing, we ever get super rich. You know, maybe Bitcoin hits 200,000 a coin. But I don't know if we're ever going to be fucking the rock rich. We all want to be comfortable enough where like you could just spend money and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And but also us work. So that's why we work as hard as we do.
Mm-hmm.
But then at some point, like, is the return becoming, you know?
Yeah, it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? And when is enough?
Yeah. So, but then I was watching last night, and I figured we might need to start a new business. This documentary was on. It was called Operation Odessa. Anybody see it on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen it before.
It was
That's the Russian. The
Yes.
guy that's tried by the submarine or whatever.
So this Russian guy got hooked up with the Italian or the mafia in New York. They sent him down to Florida, and he got into like the kind of like cocaine like transition. I think Pat actually did talk about this at some point. It's a fucking awesome documentary about how this guy. Oh, Joe did not like that.
No, that's better than I thought. It came in hot, but it's not really.
And these two guys, got away with everything that they did. One guy tattletaled on the other dude, and then so they deported him to Israel, and then he recanted his what he said. So then his buddy got off. So these two guys got off of their charges, like, and they were bringing in cocaine. But the cool thing that not the cool thing, but one of the like it's crazy business ideas is they went to Russia when the Soviet Union collapsed, and they went there and they started buying like.
So all the Soviet shit you could ever, like you could go and buy.
Wait,
like,
this is a
guns.
movie.
No, it's a documentary.
You're thinking
Netflix.
You're thinking of the Nicolas Cage movie, but
No. It's the Miles Teller.
No. That I know what you're talking about. That too.
Is that these guys?
That's the gun run guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with who's a fat guy from Superman?
Jonah Hill and
that was
Miles
a great movie.
Something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, this is different. Where like when and it closes, they were making like the
Oh, you said clothes?
or like when the Soviet Union fell apart.
Yeah.
These get like the generals and all in the military and stuff. They were making like $50 a week, so you could come there and buy like motorcycles for nothing.
Motorcycles, guns, tanks. Everything.
They bought a fucking submarine.
Oh my god! Okay,
and they were doing it. So they were Miami.
Oh, this is how they were running the drugs. Oh,
so the cartels would go to the guys in Miami and say, "Hey, I need this."
Yeah,
and they would go to Russia. They would go to Russia and they would get what they needed and get it to the Cali cartel.
Okay,
and these three dudes, like one guy was with the Cali cartel. The other two guys were the runners in Miami, and the one Russian dude knew everybody in Russia. So it was just and like partying, drinks, having the time of their lives, and just kind of watching their story and how it all came to be. It's fucking insane. And how it ended was the guy who was working with the cartel got $10 million. It was gonna be $30 million for a submarine in Russia. And the guy realized, like, there's no way they're going to get this fucking submarine from Russia to the Cali cartel. So he said, fuck it, and took $10 million from the cartel and just fucking booked it.
They caught him later on. Postscript on it. He got arrested. Long after that documentary, he got arrested. Yeah.
Really? Wasn't it the other dude from Miami who got?
The guy on the plane got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
They finally caught up to him.
He was a fugitive. He'd been a fugitive for like 30 years. And he did
my God.
And he did the documentary. I kept thinking, like, what a fucking...
Well, you know, he was on a plane in some airport somewhere.
Yeah. The other thing is, so this guy, he was trafficking cocaine, and they caught him, gave him bail, and he fled. He was a fugitive.
Mm-hmm.
He was working with these two guys from Miami, and they were meeting up all the time. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, why don't they just fucking pick this dude up? Like, they know that this Russian and this other dude are going to meet with him. Why don't they, like, meet somebody there? And he just never got caught, but he did get caught.
I believe so. I believe he got caught later on.
I know the one guy who got completely off the hook because the Russian recanted.
The one Russian dude was hilarious.
Oh, he was great. He was fucking great. Like they called him Tarzan.
Yeah.
This is called Operation Odessa?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Okay, I'm gonna have to watch this.
And he recanted, but then he got arrested for drug charges and weapons in 2019. But it was like, there's so many ways to make money, and this seems like a much funner way to make money.
Dude, it is
a little dangerous, but
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I won't say
you have a short shelf life in that kind of industry.
I won't say the situation on here, but somebody told me, I was like, oh my God, that's such an easy, I mean, it's a high risk, high reward sort of thing, but it's like, dude, people make money very creatively that I don't know if I have the balls to do.
Yeah. That's the other thing. It's like, what I think about? But there was a Dateline. It was, this guy, he was in Vietnam, he was a cop, and he remarried this lady and they moved to Tennessee. And he was dealing with suffering from PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, they were getting him on all these types of drugs, trying to help him. Like, he was just having a miserable time with it. He goes to this VA kind of like treatment thing to try to help, like some like real hard therapy.
Yeah.
He meets this guy there. This dude was actually from Tennessee too. So they like started hanging out. Well, that guy and the dude with the PTSD's wife started to hook up. So then she drugs the dude, kills him. And then they like do this whole fucking crime spree of like stealing from the VA, all this crazy shit over 4 years, just buying Corvettes, vacations, cruises, living the life for 4 years. And they both got caught. And both of them got 25 years, which would have been life in jail. And it's like, Wait,
is life in jail only 25 years?
No, but they were like
based on their age.
70s, yeah.
So. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry,
I see.
yeah.
If you get a 25-year life sentence at like 7 years old, you're gonna
Yes. Sorry.
But but in my head, I think.
Oh wait, how they were 70 doing this?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did you ever see the Clint Eastwood movie where he's like, where that's based on a true story where like the drug, he's like an old drug mule.
Wait, what is this?
It's called The Mule, I think.
The Mule. I haven't watched
it
it yet. Yeah, I want to watch it. Clint Eastwood. Okay.
But that's like in my head, I'm thinking there's 4 years of what they did, worth now the rest of your at least say 10 years in a fucking cell in a jail. It does not seem like that doesn't seem.
You know
right.
what though? Like a lot of that game is how good is your lawyer? How much money do you have? I watched I'll just say this and then I'll let you go, Pat. I watched a very interesting thing on it was one of those YouTube videos, but they approached a lawyer and they said, "Hey, what does the cheapest like what is the most novice cheap rate you're going to get for a lawyer? Like what is he capable of doing versus what is and they used the DUI." And he goes, "Okay, if I'm like the public attorney that gets assigned to you, I have 30 cases. I have not had time to read any of them. I'm reading them, showing up to the court, giving my thing, da-da-da-da-da." It's like all the stuff that fucks over everyone. Then they go to it's the same guy, and he goes, he's a very high-priced lawyer. He goes, "What can you do?" And he goes, "Well, I'm going to make an order to get the machine tested for the DUI thing. Yeah. I'm going to, then if he takes a blood test, I'm going to get that machine tested as well, just to see if," he goes, "You can just keep submitting, going down to finding is it something coded right? Yeah. And if there's an error in the code, you go, this machine's broken." And he just broke it down, and it's like, oh my God, it's money. If you have the time and the money.
Yeah. Well, think about that's how Epstein. What you were gonna say back.
I was sort of chasing back to you, or this, why would you? Is it worth it? There was this bank robber in Texas, I think it was. It wasn't a Dateline. I saw it on something else, and it was a person that robbed it. They robbed it. They thought it was a man for a long time. And it's a woman that was dressed in man's clothing, and so this person robbed a bunch of banks. They got arrested and they got out of prison. And she was 70 years old, and she tried to rob another bank, and then she got killed.
Oh, shit.
During the thing, but she just couldn't stop.
Well, it's like that. Yeah, it's like that one lady at O'Hare that keeps trying to just jump on planes. She'll slide around in O'Hare, and then she'll jump onto a plane. She's been caught so many times.
I have never heard of this. What is this?
I forget. You could literally Google.
Try Google it. Yeah.
But she is a stowaway. She's gotten to Hawaii. She's mentally has something unfortunately wrong with her, but she sneaks into O'Hare.
The actual runway port of O'Hare, you're talking, right? No,
she'll go through O'Hare, and then she'll try to slither her way past security to get onto a plane, and they keep catching her, and they put in her mental. And she could face years in jail because this is very illegal.
Yeah.
But
the lady Marilyn Hart.
Yes.
21 airport incidents. She's a serial stowaway.
I saw an Unsolved Mystery once where this person
she's older too.
It was like an Unsolved Mystery where the guy it was like a smaller airplane. He jumped over it's the old one, but it was when it was 4 cases per episode. And there was an episode where he basically was asking me, "Look, I need to go on this plane to get a ride somewhere, wherever the hell it was." It was it was a small airport, not like a big one. It was little planes. The guy literally jumped over the fence and fucking trucked it and got on the wing of this plane. Plane takes off, and the guy's hanging on, and then gets to a certain point where he can't hang on anymore and just splat dead. But they couldn't find out who he was. That was the mystery. That was the Unsolved Mystery part of it.
There's just not going that, but then I want to go to Unsolved Mysteries. But there was, you guys ever watched the show 1,000 Ways to Die?
Yeah,
I think I watched a few episodes.
That's tough. I only watched a couple too, but there's one. It was a stewardess. It was her last flight. She was like the worst. She was just a terrible person. And they all hated her.
It's always going to be their last ride.
And it was her last.
You're
right. It could be. You're right. It could just be.
That's rare. Usually all these shows are the nicest people ever. I don't know why I'm going to kill him. It's the nicest person ever.
Yeah. No. 1,000 Ways to Die was always. They would show somebody who was.
It was always some piece of shit. Yeah. I felt like. Yeah.
And so she was being a real dick. They said on this flight. This was the last one, and the plane on the top, it was not bolted down right, so a portion of it top ripped up. But there was some turbulence before, so everybody was in their seats except for the stewardess. And she was walking back to her to go put her seatbelt on, and the thing ripped up and threw her out, sucked her out. And she died, but it's not an instant death. It's you freeze to death, and it's a really terrible death.
You probably a lady the Southwest window blew out, and she got
sucked up. Yeah,
but she was strapped in, so their head is sucked out. They brought her in, and they couldn't obviously revive her.
You basically suffocate.
Yes, and you also freeze to death.
And you freeze to death.
Yeah, jeez,
that's the way to go. But okay,
that's a good way to go, though.
It's funny,
honestly,
what's interesting is
suffocation.
You think?
Yeah.
No,
why would you?
No, because anyone who drowns, they don't. There's a struggle beforehand, but then you just pass out. Yeah, it's one of the most peaceful ways to die.
There's evidently there's a basic thing. There's a 24-hour crime network that I can put on my TV when I watch it at work for background noise, and they have these. The first thing in the morning is called cruise ship killers. I found it amazing that there's so many people that die on a cruise. I never thought about this before. There's so many people that die on cruises.
I'm never going on a cruise with Pat.
I would never go to cruises, probably in general. But
I really want to go just once.
Me too.
I really want to go. Dude, everyone I've talked to, they're like, it's a cesspool of germs and disgusting. I'm like, dude, it just sounds like a nonstop party.
Just don't evidently.
And buffets.
Don't get drunk.
And drinks.
Don't get drunk. And
I'm going to get wasted and eat so much food.
Don't get drunk and go on your balcony. It's a big thing I've learned.
Yeah, that's smart.
Don't get drunk and around the casino table flashing money. It's another big thing you don't do.
Okay.
Don't get drunk in general.
Chris, how do you like the whiskey, bud?
It's good.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I liked it. I'm finished with it, obviously.
Chris,
get a little more of that, baby.
Chris,
or do you want to get those two going? Yeah.
Chris, we got a little bit of the flaviar here.
We do.
We got number 3 and number 21.
Number 3, God, I'm going to butcher pronunciation on this, is Kujiar.
Oh, this is something
Ryuku.
Japanese.
It's a Kujira Ryuka whiskey, a Japanese whiskey. It's got hints of toffee and vanilla and oak.
Both of these are Japanese whiskeys, actually.
Yes.
I'm going to rinse this shot glass out real fast on my back.
Yeah. Kujira Ryuku is my guess.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
You're butchering this goddamn name.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Not a goddamn chance.
So we're going to give it a try, though, Chris. We'll see how it goes here. You want to pass me your glass, sir? I'll give you the first taster, Chris.
How much do we usually pour?
This one we're going to pour a little less because they're smaller. But
this one we usually pour enough to give us a little taste, and then we give Chris the whole.
Oh, that's
an actual taste of it.
I'm still drinking mine, so don't yet.
Oh, I get a whole shebang of this.
You always get a whole shebang of everything.
Oh, I didn't realize.
We always give you more than everything.
Oh, I didn't realize this.
You have the.
A couple times I poured, I've given everybody equal share.
Because it's your advent counter. We always get I get a taste, and then we give you the bill, the real deal. We're nice guys like that.
Okay, so to go into also Unsolved Mysteries. I watched one.
Is this Unsolved Mysteries with
which one?
Robert
the new
Stack?
one?
No, this is a new one. Have you guys anybody
on
watched
Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen both.
Wait, the new episode, the new season?
I've seen them all. Yeah.
Not the new season.
Okay, so it's all So I wanted to get a little more of that nice whiskey.
It's good background noise.
So, but did you see the one where the lady supposedly killed herself in the hotel?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, she's the assassin!
But okay, did you really think that was like a necessary unsolved mystery?
I don't think she killed herself.
So she's like, their big thing was like, well, there wasn't a key card in. Well, okay, maybe she fucking opened the door for the dude or the person who killed her. Secondly,
maybe she got a male prostitute and she knew he was coming up.
Also, then I thought, okay, so maybe she did kill herself.
What was weird about her is that she took all of her like the lack of ID. She had no ID. She took all the labels off her clothing. That was the weird thing. She went to a bunch of different steps to make sure that she could not be easily identified.
Which that could be her own thing, but here's my thing, and I'm just gonna kind of go against. I feel that this Netflix Unsolved Mystery is not nearly as good as the old Unsolved Mysteries. I feel like a lot of these cases
they're very different.
Aren't that like the second episode in
was awesome.
The second there's been some really good ones, like some golden nuggets. But like the one with the guy jumping off the roof of the hotel, and they're like, "We found his phone."
That was fucking nuts, dude. Like,
I get it.
How did he get there? Like, you don't.
But I'm like, dude,
the jumps don't make any sense on that.
I just feel like some of them are just
like the racial one, like in the South. Like, okay, yeah, we understood he got killed at the party.
But they're trying to get. People
I feel like
they're trying to get people to come out.
I know that
Robert Stack version's the best.
I kept fucking I kept thinking watching this. Who? I'm sorry, lady. Even if, what if she just killed herself and didn't want her family to know that she killed herself?
That's happened on Unsolved Mysteries too.
What I feel like they tried to do, Unsolved Mystery used to have a lot of weird out there kind of stuff that wasn't X-File level crazy, but still plausible. No.
Okay,
now,
so I'm not the only one who's
now I feel like they're trying to like bank off of two things. One, the Unsolved Mystery like hype that it used to have. And then two, take the approach of these like modern podcasts that are like, we're going to make it interesting. And it's like, no.
Or like maybe there's somebody like a tip that could actually, so then it's like it blows up.
Yes.
I disagree with that. In the first episode of the first season, I think that one is actually a very interesting case with like the Stansbury guy.
I didn't see that.
I think that one's actually interesting.
Go into that. I can't. This is the first episode.
The roof guy. The guy that he left his house and he ended up dead in this hotel. And like the angles of the roof jump.
I guess maybe
and the parking lot jump.
I only watched like two or three.
The question. So he basically he's this guy that was like moved. And he worked for Stansbury, who's an investment consultant.
Stansbury.
And so like he worked for this guy. And like what was interesting is that like he went to this hotel for some ran out of his house.
Give you another one.
Went to his hotel, and he like died somehow in this thing. What was really interesting after the fact though was that like the minute that and Stansbury and this guy were like really good like close college friends. That's why the guy worked there. And as soon as like this guy died, his whole company issued a blackout order. Like they wouldn't talk at all. They're not allowed to talk to anybody about it. So I think it's a really weird case. Like how he got there is a weird case because it doesn't really make any sense from the angles of either the roof or the parking lot.
I got out of state measure. I'm like, fucking.
They showed you the thing. I don't need to do it. They did it for me.
Just kidding. I didn't see that one.
I think we can all agree. You're sitting there watching Unsolved Mysteries and like the last known whereabouts this guy's in Illinois. And then there's like update and they caught the guy and you're like, fuck yeah, I don't have to worry about that.
I've watched the old Unsolved Mysteries and they get to these like extreme, like there was one example and it's a good point. Like they give you like all these theories about what happened and then there's like an update of what really happened and you're like, wow, that's so anticlimactic. So like the one was like there was this girl that went missing. It's a young girl that went missing. Like they're like her family's looking for it. And on the Unsolved Mysteries, like the original one, they show like they think they saw her in the New Kids on the Block video. So she would have been like alive and somewhere in California. And then they found it. And then it's like update. She was killed by a guy like 2 feet from her house. Like that's basically it was like it's
kind of like the Tara Greenstead. Like I don't know, Up and Vanished. That was a podcast that was really popular. And the reason it got popular is because the podcast had like a Reddit type thing, and some people start like the guys who actually came on to like those people. The person who killed Tara Grinstead's like came on there, and it just got blown up because it got solved, and it got solved because it got brought up again. But it was like his theories. So they had the two guys who did it, But he had a podcast, so he went through all his theories, and then they updated, like, actually it was just two random dudes. But his theories were so fucking out there.
Were there theories like it was like a student that she was like saying a student stuff? Yeah.
It was like, or it was like her ex-boyfriend.
Can you imagine how actual detectives feel listening to this? And they're like, "You dumb motherfucker!"
What's
like,
really, what's really, I mean, some of these are like crazy.
Yeah.
Some of these are crazy. Like they're the one. Some of these unsolved mysteries, they're like pinning it on like, this, like basically like not saying like this motherfucker did it, but this motherfucker did it, and then it's like update. It wasn't that motherfucker. We were wrong. My bad, guys.
There was a recent Dateline where, and unfortunately, a college woman got murdered in the 80s when it was much easier. Late 80s, early 90s or something. And she went out with this guy and a girl, a friend, like two friends. They dropped her off, and then she got murdered. And she was on the phone with her boyfriend.
Oh yes, that's one.
With her boyfriend, and she's like, "I just let somebody in. He used the phone. His car broke down. I'm a little." And then
they didn't believe him at all. Yeah,
they didn't believe him, but they didn't believe the guy that dropped her off. So he was a suspect for 20 years until the DNA came back and showed it was this guy.
And he was like high to Zena, like you won't believe.
Yeah,
he was trying to get like the people watch all these crime shows. They know like nowadays like if you like ask somebody like Chris, would you like to volunteer your DNA for this case? Like they're like no, and if you have to get a warrant. But if you don't get a warrant, like what they try to do is they like follow you around, like you're eating that food, and this motherfucker would not like he would pick everything up. He wouldn't leave nothing anywhere.
Never left. Yeah. And
the guy who actually
like if he coughed in a thing, he'd probably like burn it on fire.
Yeah, he would like his cups. He would like if he went to a restaurant, he'd wash his cups. Like he would wipe down everything. There was never any DNA.
He takes bleach out and be like everywhere.
The guy who did it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Is this someone that she knew?
No, it was just he was a serial rapist. Like
oh my god.
Yeah, but and to go to the fact that like the cops' theories were and like. They were going to pin it on that dude. And the prosecutor, like the detectives thought it was him. And they tried to bring the charges against this guy. And they would have, if the prosecutor would have taken him to court, he would have went to jail, they think.
Yeah.
You know what I find interesting about Dateline a lot of times? Like some of these guys, you can tell like some of these cops that are like really good cops. And they're like, they're open to like everything. And they're not like, they don't have tunnel vision, but there are so many of those people. They get tunnel vision on one guy in a case, and as a result of that tunnel vision, like the other guy gets away for 20 fucking years. Yeah, and 20 years on the road, you're like DNA. You're like, oh yeah, it was that dude that I.
Well, it's like that with the chick on the Unsolved is they thought it was a suicide, so they just let all the evidence go. They didn't check the cameras. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Yeah. And so then you lose everything. And now it's like this big fucking mystery. I mean,
like back in the day in small town America, like they wouldn't close a crime scene off. Like everybody just goes through there, like so DNA's compromised, everything's compromised.
The only reason I thought of this is like you talked about security cameras. Did they ever figure out? I feel like I can't remember. Sorry. Do you remember the girl who was found dead in a freezer in Rosemont?
Yes.
Did they ever figure out what happened to that girl?
They think she got. Well, I mean, her family
thinks
that somebody killed her,
and then they think. That
but there's some pretty you could track her in a
That's video. Like the most recent unsolved mystery.
You could track her on video basically all the way into the kitchen. I don't believe there's a camera in the actual kitchen.
Yeah.
So like she basically walked by herself, nobody like around her remotely until she got to that kitchen, and then it's like the camera's kind of dead. There's a dead end, and then that's when she got. They think that she just kind of wandered in there, wasted, and she couldn't get out, and she died, unfortunately. Just hypothermia.
They're not sure, and her family doesn't believe it, but some of the videos suggested that. But they just.
I mean, if you watch
the videos, they had nobody following, and the family was. I think this is talking to my but I think the family was allowed to watch all the video. There was no one following.
I mean, if you watch the video, like you can see clips on it online. Like you can see that she is clearly.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah,
I mean, she is clearly out of her mind. Like there's
something going
staggering.
on. She's drugged in some manner.
She's on, or she's either on something, or she's extremely intoxicated.
Somebody maybe drugged her. And she got
but
away
I mean, she's like stumbling back and forth. Like so, like she is so out of her mind that maybe like she thought it was a door outside or something. Who knows? But like you can clearly see but there's nobody around her. Like. It's not.
Yeah, no. I remember.
It's not like you see her staggering and then somebody like coming down the hallway right after her.
And then also the problem is like no one checked that freezer. Like they would probably check.
And it's a weird place to check. I mean, would you? I mean, it's a kitchen.
Well, I mean, like they were renovating all that.
That
was the whole reason it was just such a huge.
I believe that is where Caddyshack is now. Murray Brothers Caddyshack is.
Oh, really?
It's right in that area.
I know it's that hotel. I believe
Yeah.
it's that restaurant freezer though.
We
I
used to
think so,
drive
too.
past that, and they would protest.
Yeah,
it
all
for
the
a
time.
long time.
All the time, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You feel bad for the restaurant. You feel bad for the hotel, but the hotel shouldn't have allowed them to party like that.
Wasn't that after a New Year? Wasn't that a New Year's party?
No, I don't
No,
think
it
so.
was New
No,
Year's, but it was a
okay.
regular party. But
Okay, so wait, let's go over the whiskeys.
Yeah,
The
we
Whistle Pig was. I thought it was pretty good. So
I like
it's
the
a little.
Whistle Pig.
Huh?
I
I
like
would.
that. I didn't like this one very much. Number 3. I didn't
What
care
would you
very
rank? What would you rank for Whistle Pig? Because we won't rank these, but what would you?
much. I give it a
I don't know. I'd scale out to 5.
Yeah.
5. Yeah.
I'm
It's,
on a 5.
I could drink
Is
it.
that a step up from the other stuff that we've had?
Ryes are a
What's
little harder in general.
This is yeah. So this is. I didn't realize all Whistle Pigs were rye. That's why I thought
Yeah.
because it was black.
No, yeah.
The other one we had
But
too is a hard one too. Like
This
they're harder.
didn't have the bite I thought it would, which is why you saw that face, and then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
I thought number 3 wasn't bad.
I didn't care for it personally.
I like 3.
I actually didn't have any 3.
You
Okay.
did.
Huh?
Yeah, I did. Didn't I?
No, I had some in my Whistle Pig left. So I
Oh,
said,
I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It was my fault. I
I really thought I poured some in there for you.
All
No,
so
no,
why
it's
don't
poor
we-
timing.
Why don't you guys pour up that last
the other
one?
one also from Japan.
And let's get the last
Number-
last week of picks, guys. It's the only time we can do our parlay.
Number 21 is Akashi, blended Japanese whiskey. I believe this
Chris,
is the bottle that
I've
you got,
seen-
Pat Lynch,
I've seen.
for Christmas.
Oh shit,
Is it? I can go pull it out and see.
You can go take a look, but I'm pretty sure it is.
that's fucking awesome. I hope it's good.
This is shit. Damn it, Joe.
No, the reason I got it for you though, Pat, is you talk about the other Japanese whiskey that you had and you really like. So I was like, oh, this is like a bigger, like, you know, it's supposed to be better.
What's
it called,
Chris?
Akashi.
Single malt. Akashi.
No, this is the blended Japanese
Okay,
whiskey.
well I've got the single malt from Joseph.
Okay.
So we got something else to try sometime.
There we go.
To be determined, ladies and gentlemen. Come back
So
for
why
another
don't we
future
finish
podcast.
this? We'll pop the little bit of the bubbly
A little bit of bubbly, as Chris
so
says.
that we can, and then we'll cheers ourselves on a
Oh.
0 for 16 on the parlay.
That's got some nice
Here
peaty
we
to
go.
it. It's got a nice little smoky taste to it.
Cheers, guys.
Oh God. Whoa.
Tastes
Oh.
like wood.
Oh God.
Tastes like wood.
Oh.
Did I just look at 2
Oh,
by
geez.
4?
Oh jeez.
That is
Oh
very.
jeez.
It's very
Ah,
smoky,
jeez.
but it's not a bad flavor
It's
though.
got the peaty,
Wow.
It's got a peaty
Wow.
taste and a woody taste.
It's
to it.
exactly what.
What do you see, Maj?
I mean, that is very smoky, but it's not like
I'm gonna tell you
terrible
this.
tasting.
I
I
can't open my eyes.
I legitimately felt like I licked a 2 by 4.
Not
Not with the grain, not with the grain perpendicular, so I got no splinters, but
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like.
it
that
is
one better
every
than the
bit of
last one,
wood.
personally.
You like this one better than the last one?
I do. Yeah, I do. I like some better actually.
I know I said that, but I like it.
I'm assuming a blended Japanese whiskey means that it's like a mix between like a whiskey, like bourbon almost, and like a scotch. Because this is on the borderline.
In a
of
piece
scotch.
of charcoal fire.
Can we have a little magic school bus teaching moment here? Because this is something that I wanted to ask. Can you break down like what the whiskeys mean? Like what's a rye?
This one doesn't smell as smoky.
What's
as
a
that
what's
one, though.
a blended clearly means it's multiple of something.
Multiple, yes.
So maybe give me a couple of the popular ones. I don't know how expansive it gets.
You didn't go the full road.
So,
for this one,
so I don't know much about scotches, and I'm not going to claim to be very smart on anything.
The only reason I'm asking you is because I feel like you're the most knowledgeable out of all of us.
The ryes are different because I believe they do ryes with corn, where like whiskeys are done with wheat.
Okay, all
And
right.
that's the difference there. Now, granted, I have no idea what that. I know enough to be dangerous in this situation, kind of like with cigars. I'm not the most knowledgeable person here.
Okay.
Here, yes, you are.
Here I am, yes.
Yes,
So, like if somebody's
yeah.
listening to this podcast, it's like, Chris, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know anything. Yeah, probably I don't, but I know enough to be dangerous. And I'm pretty sure like bourbons are made with wheat, and whiskeys are made with corn, or ryes are made with.
I think rye is I'm saying rye is the percentage mixture. Has to be a certain percentage for it to be considered a rye. if I'm not mistaken.
Fuck. Whatever the
It
last
could be.
one.
I have no idea.
I
But,
don't give a fuck.
and then I'm not exactly sure what constitutes a scotch, but I'm assuming it's what they kind of barrel the whiskey in. I'm assuming like you get more like of like an oak barrel type thing. You get more of like that woody taste. I think it's like how long you kind of let it sit in the barrel.
So a rye is 51% mash, corn mash. So that's
so
Okay.
it's made with corn. Yeah.
yeah. So for it to be a rye, it's got to be 51%
You
corn.
want to pull up your the picks?
Yes.
Last
absolutely.
week, baby. Well, since we suck ass, and unfortunately Joe's lock of the week.
Fucking
Oh, the century.
shit.
Essentially, Joe, when you go against common knowledge.
Joe, everybody's kind of
You
everybody's.
shouldn't have let Pat Lynch talk you into covering the points because you would have made it.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I asked him. I didn't talk him into it. I asked him.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't.
Oh, God, bless America. Ah, that whiskey is rough. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. No.
We actually get to choose from all the games for a change.
Holy shit, we got Fat Albert on the podcast.
Joe, you actually do pretty good at Fat Albert.
He does.
You do great creepy German. I'll give you that.
Yeah, it does. And it's Australian.
Is this for Chris?
It's for me.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were like, you put it in front of me.
And I buy the little bit of bubbly, and I don't even get to open the goddamn bottle.
There's another bottle. You can open that one.
No, that's Joe Keneally with the knife.
Katrina would like a little bit above it too.
I apologize, Christopher.
I brought special glass.
I honestly did not think about that at all. That's a shit.
Oh, I didn't think about that either.
But you know what, Chris? You get the first glass.
You can also get the next.
My glass is over here, though. You're pouring your glass.
No,
we
he's
have-
got special.
he's got fancy glass.
We have fancy glasses.
Lord, I apologize.
We're in Pat's house. You know Katrina bought these.
Pinky's up on this one, gentlemen.
The whiskey bottle, the whiskey glasses are mine. Katrina gets the rest of the shit.
So we're gonna bring this over, Chris, and you get to tell us what you think of it.
Listen, Chris Jericho, if this fucking sucks, I'm gonna send Joe Keneally.
Chris,
down to
I need you to
Jacksonville.
hold it. I need you to hold it the same way, so you could look like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Hold on, we gotta get a picture of Chris here. Taking a little bit of bubbly.
Yeah,
Little bit of bubbly.
little bit of bubbly.
Joe says that the best too.
Got a little bit of bubbly dripping off the dish.
It's a little aftertaste. A little aftertaste.
Saving it for later.
I didn't get the cut.
I sound more like the Nutty Professor.
You didn't get the fucking bump.
You sound like the guy who
I'm trying to do that.
dodgeball.
No, the bump on the head.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it for you.
Oh, it dries out the throat though.
For a sparkling wine and champagne, it actually isn't that bad. Like,
You know, we had the one on New Year's Eve, and I think I said it sooner. I'm like, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I'm not a big fan of champagne in general.
well,
No, this is
wasn't
literally the only
champagne.
time I drink it
It
once
was
a year,
actually-
and it's
there's
this.
sparkling wine.
I drink it. Use it. I mean, this is because it's not from France. That's why. But it's sparkling wine and champagne are the same shit.
Oh, make sure you know that. Write it down.
Write it down. I think that's the seventh time we said this on a
Yep.
podcast.
Did you get the memo?
I got
No,
the memo.
Pat Lynch has not.
All right,
got the
Patrick,
memo.
start the parlay, please. As I pass out everyone's champagne. Celebrating an 0 for 16 this year.
Oh man.
5-team parlays are hard, man.
Yeah, they are. And you did a great job this year, Pat.
And we would have had it last. We would have had at least Pierce parlay last week if the fucking Patriots figured out how to play offense.
Yeah, they fucked us pretty good.
We would have gotten it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
All right, first game of the week. Miami travels to Buffalo. Buffalo's a 2-point favorite. Does Buffalo need to win that game at all? Does it matter if Buffalo wins
They
that game?
lose and Pittsburgh wins. Even though Pittsburgh's benching a lot of their players,
not bad.
Pittsburgh would end up being the 2 seed. I don't think it's as bad as some of the other champagnes we've tried.
Yeah.
What's with the smell in all these things?
What's the verdict on this, boys? Like it? Not like it?
I like it.
I like it.
It tastes like champagne.
You know what? It does, but it's not super bubbly. I know.
It's not as sweet as a lot.
I got a.
Yeah, that's another thing too. It's not as sweet and it's not as bubbly. It just comes in nice.
I got a nice.
That's why it's a little bit of
I got a little tickle bitty for. I got a tickle bitty for this game. Buffalo is 6-1 against the spread this season when the line is between +3 and -3, and Buffalo has covered 7 straight games.
So you're saying Buffalo will cover it? The tickle bitty would indicate Buffalo would cover the game.
Who are they
They're
playing?
playing Miami.
Miami.
Joe
In
Keneally,
Buffalo.
lock of the week. Lock of the
You're not
century.
even hear the other games?
No, I know. I did a little bit of research again.
Okay,
I did my research that I should have done.
Buffalo
Like I
have
did.
anything to play for because Miami does.
Buffalo still has. Buffalo has
Wait,
not
no,
locked
isn't
in the
Miami
second seed.
playing?
Correct.
Miami is playing Buffalo, but Buffalo is not locked in the second seed yet. If they lose and Pittsburgh wins, Pittsburgh moves up to the second seed.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so there is an.
The
So they
Pittsburgh's
have a
benching
reason.
guys,
They
right?
have a
Yeah,
reason to
Pittsburgh is
win.
benching guys. But who the hell knows when that game's going to be played right now? Because they have COVID going rampant between Pittsburgh and Cleveland right now.
I also have.
Cleveland shut down their
I know they had a coach. I
practice
saw a
facility,
coach.
and then Joe Hayden, I think it's Joe Hayden from Pittsburgh got COVID or something.
Fucking Joe Hayden.
Yeah, so they're all over the
Let's
place.
go to the next game.
Second game, we got Baltimore going to Cincinnati. Baltimore's a 14-point favorite. Holy shit! I know. I think Baltimore needs to win in the playoffs, right? I believe
14's a lot of points.
it is a lot of points, but Baltimore needs the game, correct?
Baltimore needs to win that game.
Yeah, but do they need to win by 14?
I mean,
they just need to. They need to win that game. And Grant, the way they played the last couple of weeks, they've been
playing pretty. They've been playing fairly good. Yes,
and they've been double-digit favorites.
They've been beating up on teams that they should beat.
Yes,
but that is true.
We can see. We can always come back to this. Obviously, next game we got Pittsburgh traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland's a 10. How is Cleveland a 10-point favorite?
So
I get Big Ben's out of 10.
I got Tiggle bidding.
They lost to the Jets last week.
Cleveland is 2-9 against the spread this season in conference games. That means they're 2-9 against AFC opponents.
Okay.
And then they're also 0-5 against the spread in division games, which means they haven't covered anybody.
Means you pick Pittsburgh, you skip it, right?
Pittsburgh to cover the 10.
All right, here's a game that
cover the 10.
Yeah.
I like that.
Pittsburgh is a 10-point underdog.
So the next game we got Minnesota going to Detroit. Minnesota's a 4-point favorite. I can see Minnesota win that game by 4, honestly.
I got Tiggle Bitty for this. This is kind of interesting.
But you got to imagine both Minnesota and Detroit don't give a shit about this game.
They have nothing to play for, and Dalvin Cook's not playing.
Really?
Yeah, he's out because
I feel like of these two teams though, Detroit doesn't have the coaching staff is not trying to come back next year. They're not going to come back probably. They're gone. They already fired that.
I don't even know. I don't.
Or they're gonna fire Patrica. They're gonna fire.
They fired Patrica already.
All right, so
they got an interim coach.
Yeah, so I feel like Minnesota.
The question is Matthew Stafford playing? Because I got Minnesota's covered 6 straight meetings against Detroit, but also Minnesota has failed to cover its past 6 games.
Let me see if Matt Stafford.
That makes more sense. I don't like that first tip. Shit to me.
Let me see if Matt Stafford's playing. He's questionable. Kenny Galladay is out.
But I think he's been out for like pretty much the whole entire year.
He's good when he's healthy though. He's a good player, but he's from Chicago.
Great. Let's go to the next one.
New England, a 3-point favorite over the Jets. I would take that because I know Bill Belichick hates New England with a passion, or hates the Jets with a passion, and I would take
I don't know. We've kept
New England doesn't do well against the Jets when they're the favorite.
On a field goal.
I think they're like 5-4 against the spread in their last 9 meetings against the Jets.
All right, we don't have to pick this, but I would choose this game for my personal preference. But anyways,
I'm not a fan. I'm right now pissed at the Patriots.
I feel like Bill. I wasn't sticking to the Jets. So
wait, can I ask you a question? Sure. I saw Bill on the phone, and
then he was not happy with it.
What was
he
that in regards to?
I think he wanted to call it the challenge.
I think
they're like, no.
I think they gave him bad information on the challenge, and he lost timeout on the result of it.
Okay.
He was on the phone yelling at somebody.
And he's like, "Fuck you, you idiot!" And he throws his phone down. All right, next game.
Poor Bill.
We got Dallas going to the Giants in New York. Dallas 2-point favorite.
Sorry, another thing.
I got a interesting Tiggle Bitty for this one, and this is just interesting. It's in the past 30 seasons, New York is 7-1 outright.
You said 30 seasons?
Past 30. The only reason why I find this interesting.
3 or 30?
30.
Okay.
30. I only
let
find
the man get the.
I find this interesting.
Let the man get his video.
Somebody had to comb through 30 seasons.
That's what I'm saying. 30
fucking shit
seasons.
to figure this out. New York is 7-1.
The man can't even get a bit out. It's just a bit.
I mean, 30 seasons is a
Let the
lot
man
of seasons.
get a bit.
There's only been 50 Super Bowls.
Let the man finish his bit.
In the past 30
shit. Sorry,
Chris. Let's finish the bit.
I apologize.
In the past 30 seasons, New York is 7-1 outright and 6-2 against the spread when still alive in the playoff race entering Week 17. Dallas is 2-6 outright and 3-5 against the spread in those games.
Okay.
Now you can't continue, Pat.
I just found it interesting.
Wait, who? So it's Dallas and
New York.
I just found 30 seasons of ridiculous.
If New York wins that game and Washington loses on Sunday Night Football, New York's in the playoffs. As a 6-10 playoff
that
team.
division is such dog shit.
It is a garbage division.
They can't beat anybody outside has anybody in the team beaten people out of the division hardly? Like, probably not, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Wait, the Buffalo Bills are
Philadelphia
in a different...
tied with Cincinnati on the first week.
The Bills are with the Miami Patriots, and I don't know who the last one is.
So I heard the quarterback
say... Jets.
I heard the quarterback say a funny thing, like, in opposition of the other division, and he's like, well, you don't have to be... Like, he was making a joke about how you had to be way better in that league to get into the playoffs versus, like, those shittier teams are going to fucking lose.
But the NFC East has always been dog shit between the Philadelphia, the Eagles.
It seems like the last time
Another dumb question. Is it strictly geographical that determines the team?
You try to look at it, but
now
there are some interesting shit going on.
They used to be the Buccaneers used to be in the NFC Central for some reason.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes it didn't work out.
When the Cowboys would have made much more sense.
Well, St. Louis used to be in the NFC West.
Yeah, they would have been better.
You think Wisconsin, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago.
And St. Louis would have made sense for the division.
I mean, literally, you think about it right now. You got the Jets, Miami, or you got the Jets, Miami, New England, and the Buffalo Bills all in the AFC East. Yeah. You would think it would make more sense
to put.
No, they've always been in the East. You make more sense to put Pittsburgh. Miami in the AFC South. Yeah. Move a team like either the Tennessee Titans or the Colts into the AFC North, and then move Baltimore, who's actually on the East Coast, into the AFC East. Yeah. No, they want to keep all these rivalry games.
That's because Baltimore moved from Cleveland over.
Yeah, but I mean, they did the realignment.
Okay, let's keep going.
Sorry,
that's a whole entire question.
So Tampa Bay is a 7-point favorite over Atlanta at home. Carolina is a 6-point favorite or New Orleans is a 6-point favorite over Carolina in Carolina. Tennessee is a 7-point favorite over Houston.
We got some tickle bitties for that.
I think Houston.
Ryan Tannehill starts as a Tennessee Titans quarterback. Are 24-1 against the spread since the start of last season, and Houston is 0-7 outright as an underdog of at least 3 points this season, 2-5 against the spread.
I'd take Tennessee.
I can take Tennessee. I like that one. It's a good tittle bitty.
And Tennessee needs to win to be the AFC South champion.
We got Jacksonville going to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a 14-point favorite. I feel like that might be a possibility.
I don't know.
Does Indy need it?
Yes,
Indy needs it.
I think, I don't know.
I don't know about
Jacksonville is not going to try to fuck up and win this game.
Jacksonville, now granted,
but will they win by 14?
I didn't write this down because I didn't like this game, but I did see the one tickle baby where Jacksonville's 9-1-1 against the spread against the Indianapolis Colts. It's 2017 or something. But granted, it's not the same team in 2017 that it is now, but I don't trust Indianapolis.
They also lost them in week 1.
Yeah. Yes.
So the next game is the Chargers go to KC. Chargers are a 5-point favorite.
The Chargers are a 5-point favorite
because they're not playing Mahomes and Kelsey and probably half the rest of their team. Probably.
Yep. Next.
I could see a 3-point favorite.
Got Vegas going to Denver. Vegas is a 3-point favorite.
Las Vegas has covered 5 straight meetings, and Las Vegas is 4-1 against the spread in division games this season.
I would take Vegas as well in the game.
How much?
3 points over Denver. Denver has been kind of a mess the last 2 weeks.
Drew Lock is garbage.
I don't trust it.
There are a lot of good games in this week.
I know.
We got Arizona going to the Rams, 3-point favorite. Is that a game in Arizona probably?
Yeah. No.
Even though they're on the road.
It's got to be, yeah.
Probably in Arizona,
it's gotta be in Arizona.
Stay away from that one just because it's the Bears. Unless you guys got a few.
No, it's the Rams.
It's the Rams.
Yeah, but I'm saying, it's a Bears competition.
I mean, the Rams don't have Jared Goff, and Arizona's a 3-point favorite. That doesn't seem an unreasonable amount for them to win by. But Seattle is a 7-point favorite over San Francisco, which I'm guessing is played somewhere else. It's not San Francisco.
Oh shit. That's a great question. I'm thinking maybe San Francisco's playing in Arizona. I don't know if LA's got the same problem as restriction as that. We'd have to look that up.
I can look it up real quick.
But I do have a tickle bitty about the San Francisco-Seattle game, even though I don't like Seattle because Seattle's fucked us a couple times this year too.
Yeah, they have.
San Francisco is 1-6 against the spread at home this season. Grant, they're not probably playing at home. And then Seattle covered against San Francisco in Week 8 this season. But however, Seattle was only favored by 1 point in that game.
Problem is it's Week 16.
But the other thing
is Week 16, and you got
the other thing is that if Seattle wins that game and somehow magically Green Bay loses that game, Seattle I think ends up bumping up to 1.
It looks like the Rams game is actually in LA.
Isn't this a weird week because there's a lot of teams that are in the playoffs that don't need to qualify or don't need to win the game.
They have nothing to gain from winning.
Yeah, and then by that measure, you're going to guess that a lot of teams aren't going to play their best players. Yeah. And then you have teams that really do need to win, who are shittier teams playing against better teams, but they're not playing their best players.
Next year,
who are basically, so it's like a very
you have
weird...
other teams that are out and both teams are out, and you're going in there trying not to get hurt.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole other thing.
It's just this whole
wow, man.
So
here we go.
Is every
Next
week,
game. The next
is
game we
every-
got.
This is the last.
Is
this
Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay's got to be at least a 5.5 point favorite.
They're a 4-point favorite in Chicago.
I got a tickle bait for this. And this, I think that the only reason why I took this one down is it's another interesting one. Since 2008, teams that are still alive in playoff races are 5-15 outright and 7-12-1 against the spread when they are underdogs. They are 2-5 outright and 3-4 against the spread as favorite. Only twice in that span has a team still alive in the playoff race been a home underdog of at least 5 points. Each of the previous two lost outright. Tennessee in 2018, Dallas in 2013. Long story short, pretty much the Packers you should take in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Off that tickle bit, yeah.
I'm sorry, how much was it?
It's a 4-point.
There are 4 points. Now, granted, like what ESPN, when I looked it up, this tickle bait, they were a 5.5 point favorite.
The Bears family would definitely love them to beat the Packers, but the reality of me thinks they're not going to beat the Packers because they're the Bears, and they always.
All right, let's go really quick from top to bottom.
The last game
was
Washington is a 4-point favorite over Philly in Philly.
Does Washington have a coach?
Wait, who's coach?
Fun fact on that one.
Who's quarterbacking?
Alex Smith is questionable, but supposed to play.
If he's not quarterbacking, it's that other guy that they...
No one knows.
Nobody
knows who he is.
Fun tickle bitty on this one, just for fun. Washington has not been a road favorite this season, and they are a favorite on the road this game.
That's crazy.
So we picked one game so far, the Tennessee Titans.
Well, I gotta get a list a little bit.
You got your 5, right?
Yeah.
First pick? Okay.
So we got Buffalo by 2.
Okay. I know we talked about
Joe,
it.
do you have a lock of the century of the week?
I think this is where Joe was trying to get there.
I'm saying Buffalo's going to win.
Buffalo's.
Okay.
Joe C. Lock of the century of
I
the
think
week.
I'm going to take Buffalo. After listening to all of them, Buffalo sounds like a good pick.
Baltimore by 14 over Cincy. That's a lot of points. I hate those big point ones.
Yeah, me too.
Everybody seemed to be kind of into Pittsburgh covering the 10 in Cleveland. Or it was a possibility.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
You got Minnesota by 4. I'm still leaning towards Minnesota now personally, but I'm not sure if the group feels that strongly about that one as well. Then you got,
I can't imagine. The only issue I have is Matthew Stafford playing, because if Matthew Stafford's playing, he somehow figures out a way to will his team to at least score some points.
But they only scored by 4. 4's not.
Okay, I kind of like that too.
Next game is got New England. Jets going to New England. New England's a 3-point favorite. Nobody seems to like that game very much.
No.
Dallas is a 2-point favorite over the Giants. I'm not huge for that one.
Either.
Atlanta goes to Tampa Bay, a 7-point favorite. Atlanta kept it close with they kept it real close with what's it called last week.
But they also like Tampa Bay didn't, or when they played them 2 weeks ago.
No, I'm saying KC though.
But like when they played, Tampa Bay played Atlanta 2 weeks ago. Like literally, they played.
Does Tampa Bay have anything to play for?
They're locked in.
Can they move up or down?
They're locked in.
So I don't think I like that.
No,
personally.
Who are they playing?
They're playing Atlanta, and Atlanta played Kansas City pretty well in Kansas City.
I feel like Atlanta's playing for jobs.
Yeah, fuck it. I like Atlanta.
18% only agree with us on that one. Atlanta's gonna cover the 7.
You know what? I could see Bruce taking that game. Do they have a bye or no?
No, they're only one team gets a bye.
Yeah, so the Packers are playing.
So they can't get to the bye regardless of what.
Okay,
happens.
so
that's why the huge issue between Green Bay.
Problem is they could Bruce could say it as, because I think people are starting to learn that you got to hit it. You got to play tough, because you can't take a week off.
No.
If you take a week off, you're fucked. So, but I could see Atlanta coming in and playing tough.
I mean, Atlanta's a team that hasn't quit. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
No, they won't.
They can't win a game. They can't win a fucking game with it. They don't quit.
No, if Atlanta knew how to play defense in the fourth quarter, they'd probably have at least
they'd have three more
wins. Yeah. It would have been the Bears. It would have been, I think, either
Detroit. I think,
yeah.
Okay. And New Orleans, who has no fucking running backs, going to Carolina, 6-point favorite.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Yeah, I don't like that one either. Then you got still got the 14-pointer by Indy over Jacksonville. You got Los Angeles by 5 over KC, who's probably kind of phoning it in, but who knows? I mean, those games are always weird.
No.
Vegas by 3 over Denver. I would take Vegas now personally.
I think I just don't trust. I don't trust fucking Vegas.
I don't trust Denver. Denver's fucked me a couple times this year.
I'd rather take. I take the Vikings over. I think.
But we got to pick 2 more games still.
So let's take the Vikings. How you feel about them? You like the Vikings, right?
Yeah,
I like
I don't
the
think
Vikings.
that's a bad one at all.
And then you know what? I'm okay with the. I mean, Andy Dalton versus what? Daniel Jones.
No, it's
Andy Dalton with the Dallas versus Daniel Jones, or is this somebody else?
Oh, no, you're right,
It's
yeah.
Daniel Jones. Yeah.
I forgot that. Andy.
We've picked Dallas to cover, and they've hit.
We know Joe really hates the Dallas Cowboys. So
I
we'll
picked the
Wait, how
Dallas-
much are they?
I-
Are they a favorite? Or are they
Dallas a 2-point favorite.
I picked Dallas to win this week.
Dallas needs it to get in the playoffs.
So does the Giants. The Giants.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
Okay,
both
so
teams
maybe,
need it.
maybe that's too tight. Maybe that is a tight.
Dallas only needs to win by 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be a tough one.
Because if the Giants win, it comes down to Sunday night, and if
Yeah.
Philadelphia somehow
okay,
manages to
yeah,
pulls
yeah,
off the
yeah.
upset, the Giants are in.
I don't like the Philly game. I mean, the Bears game probably could. I mean, I can see Green Bay covering 4.
What are they? Oh, okay. Yeah, I would.
But the Bears family wants to hope that they can. The Bears.
I don't want to
keep
do
it close.
Vegas. What's the?
You got Cleveland. That's a 10-point favorite over
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
the Arizona's a
Did we
3-point
not
favorite.
take that one? I'll take Pittsburgh.
We took that one already.
Did we?
Oh no, we didn't. We take Pittsburgh to cover the 10.
I'll take
I believe.
Pittsburgh to cover 10.
All right, we're taking Pittsburgh to cover the 10 then.
Oh shit!
Without Ben Roethlisberger, but I like Mason Rudolph. Yeah, right.
You're the only one, Peter.
Yeah, right. That might. I bet Pittsburgh's gonna win.
I bet, yeah,
God
Pittsburgh's
damn
going to be the one that fucks
All right,
us.
ladies and gentlemen. So for those listening at home on Monday or Tuesday or whenever this comes
We'll
out,
tweet it out tonight again at the.
We always get it out on
podcast
Monday.
No, but yes, we have.
Yeah.
I'm saying the games will be over by then.
Yeah.
Oh
But-
yeah,
but
definitely.
we
Yeah.
tweeted
Well, we
tonight.
tweeted out.
So we got Buffalo covering the 2, Pittsburgh covering the 10, Minnesota covering the 4, Atlanta covering the 6.5, and Tennessee covering the 7.
And Buffalo is Joe C's lock of the century of the week.
The last one till next season.
Awesome.
Well, we got playoffs.
First one of the year,
we got
baby.
we got the playoffs. Joe could have a couple of
Yeah.
Okay.
locks of the century. Joe is definitely going to have a Super Bowl lock of the
I'm
century
4-2
of the week.
No, I'm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you are.
You're 4-2. You've done a pretty
We've
good job.
done. This is our 13th episode. I've only done 6.
Yeah, but you did 3 and 1 at one time.
Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
And we're only
Yeah.
counting that. We're only counting one
Yeah,
loss
that
there.
one.
But you got 2 of the 3 right, Joe.
Yeah.
Mm.
Dallas just
Cool.
got
I'm
2.
gonna have an original. As we
Oh, gee.
close it, like let's. I get it. We're really hot. But hey, listen, Toby's got shit going on. So if we're going a little longer, and we're starting to pick up some fans, and we appreciate that, guys.
2 women.
2 women.
It's actually pretty good.
Pat Lynch.
That's actually really good.
Pat Lynch loves used socks. Send them to him. Hit him up in the email. He'll give you his home address.
We're gonna get a pot. We're gonna get a PO box, and you're gonna send Pat all your used
He
socks.
loves your sweaty socks.
Where did that come from?
I try to think. Is there
I remember our
else?
conversation last week.
I don't. It wasn't on a podcast. I know that much.
No. You told me this in secret.
Oh, in secret, yeah.
In
In secret.
Secret time?
It's a confessional show. It's a confessional.
I watched. I don't know if you guys know who Fortune Fester is.
I recognize the name. I can't.
She's a comedian.
Oh yes, the big blonde lady.
She
Yeah.
looks like the kid from Bad Santa.
Yeah.
I watched her stand
Oh,
up.
she was in Bert Kreischer's thing for the cabin for like a hot minute. Then she got like.
Oh, that's right. She
She's
was.
like, I'm out.
Yeah,
She
when
had
he
a
when he had asked her to help wax her ass.
Yeah.
She had a really good movie, like that really blew her up. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
She wasn't in Bad Santa, was she?
No, not in Bad Santa. This is just in the last like few years.
I watched her stand up last night.
Yeah, I like
I've
her.
seen it. She wasn't too. I've seen a
That,
small.
actually, it's about a cow I met in a while. That's really good.
I've seen a small version of her thing. It wasn't bad.
I didn't think I was good up until kind of the end. Like, I feel like, where do you go from there? Like, you've given your whole life story out, like from start to finish.
Well, that's what comedy is, though. Constantly finding new stuff, right?
No, that's true. But I feel like, I mean, you could have probably saved half your life. Like,
Oh, for her, yeah. I mean, she did like a one man.
got all of
It
your
was
life
kind of
one
like a
shot.
one man show
Yeah,
kind of thing.
It's a one woman show.
I love her.
Sorry, I don't. Yeah, sorry, I don't mean
her
like
and
that.
Tom Papa do a morning radio show on Sirius.
Interesting.
Yeah, I really love Tom Papa. I love his baking bread.
He's funny guy.
Yeah, he's it's really good. But there's a couple. If you guys want tonight, there's a couple stand-ups on YouTube that I'm definitely interested in. One with Sam Morril. He's a New York comedian.
Oh, I like him a lot. Yeah.
I like to see his, and then what's his name? He's been Jeremy Watkins. He's I Kill Tony. He's the saxophone player. He's got a bird nose. Like he's got Pin McGraw style bird nose. He might be fighting Joe for biggest nose.
Bigger schnoz.
Sucking up all the air in the world.
Netflix also put out like this whole little like short
Oh,
bit
you know
thing.
Andrew Schultz too. We should watch. Andrew Schultz has got one.
Oh, he got a show. It's like his
Yes.
YouTube thing.
No, but it's not a show. It's like it's a stand up. It's a stand up.
That's the guy that they
Oh, I thought did he get a show on Netflix where
No.
it's him sitting on the chair?
That's a stand-up special.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's why it's so confusing.
I watched the trailer for that, and I thought it was his.
Yeah,
YouTube
it was a trailer
thing.
that they wouldn't let him actually like discuss what actually he wanted.
Interesting. Okay.
Or maybe not. Maybe it's just like the.
You know what though? This felt like a very like from the last podcast to this podcast. I feel like it's been like a month.
Okay, I felt like that too. I thought it was so long.
We have not gotten together and talked in a long time. Like it just felt insanely long to me.
Yes, I haven't seen the McGraws in a whole 2 days.
I know, yeah.
Well, I mean that. Yeah,
Got a whole day off.
A whole day off, lucky me.
dude, traffic sucked yesterday.
These students drive back from
Drive
Wisconsin.
home. So I drove. I didn't get nearly the drive you guys got, but from Wheaton,
What time did you leave?
I left after the Notre Dame game.
So you left about
my
like
hour and a
6,
half. My hour and a half.
Yeah,
drive.
and I saw immediately, like within the first 5 minutes, it was 4 accidents, and 3 of them had at least 2 cars. So I saw one Ford car, my first thing around, and there was cars like literally facing different directions. The second one was just a car off on the other side of the road facing the wrong direction. Then the other one was 2 that had hit each other. I saw a body. I don't know if they had gotten out of the car and laid on the ground. I don't know what happened, but I saw a body on the ground. I don't know. And then the last one was just a car that had slid and hit the wall. This was in the first 10 minutes. I was like, Jesus Christ, am I about to die on this? Like, is it going down? People were driving so stupid though, man. So stupid.
I saw 3 on the way back from Wisconsin. On you guys.
We saw 2. We saw one chick, one chick, but one lady, and then
SUV that flipped around and the whole thing was back.
She got hit by the semi.
I didn't see. I saw the aftermath. Oh, you saw it?
No, but you could tell that the semi. On the
her whole back end of her car was fucked.
Yeah, she got hit by a semi. Then there was a 2 double car, but that was off to the right.
Yeah.
The problem is, there's a certain speed limit you do have to do. Like, you have to, like, you can't, it's going too slow. It's more of an issue than letting these idiots go off on the left. If you're nervous, that's fine. Let these idiots go off on the left and let them slide off and do whatever stupid shit they're going to do.
Yeah.
The people who go too slow on the right and the right 2 lanes, if you're on the right, that's fine because people can get over to the next one, get over around you. It's the fucking guy who's in the second to last lane who's going 30 miles an hour and people are trying to get around.
There's a guy that I picked up somewhere in the. We're heading towards the 94 there somewhere.
That's picking people up on the highways.
He came up like behind me and he was like riding.
Pat picked up a guy on the highway and he came up from behind him.
Yeah, so the guy was like riding my bumper for several miles, and then I finally got over. I switched lanes, and he went ahead of me, which is fine, like whatever. But then that's a slow lane. I was in the right lane, so I'm in the fast lane now. So I'm kind of gaining on cars, and so he then gets behind this other car, and then he gets right up in there, and then he turns. And he goes, it was doing the same thing for 7 miles. He was riding people's asses the whole way. I'm like, dude, if anybody taps the brake, you cannot stop. There's no way you're stopping.
Here's the perfect example. In my New Year's Eve night driving, all these people, I'm going towards the suburbs. So once I get towards O'Hare, past Cumberland, that whole thing, people are going. I mean, people were already going, but right before that, I got to Harlem, and there was 4. I saw for the first time ever 4 cars get into an accident, and it's it was the first time I ever saw it, and man, that was scary. It's I got on there and I was like, I'm driving like a pansy. These people are flying.
Yes.
I'm thinking I'm trying to drive safe, and then I literally witnessed 4 cars get into a huge accident. It literally is one guy loses control, hits, boom, boom. Pinballs between, and then all 4 on the side of the road. Yeah. And it's there's bumpers, there's glass flying. It was crazy. And it's you don't have to, it's snowy, it's rainy, the roads are wet. People are crazy.
So I said this. It was when we were driving home, and it was like I'm going as comfortable as I feel.
Yes,
and I'm not like, but comfortable means like I'm trying to do speed limit because I don't want people to feel like they have to get around me.
On the 2-lane, I was probably about 55.
Yeah,
right.
I literally, what's the speed limit?
And on the main highway, I was probably about 60, 65.
Yes. That's as comfortable as
which is very slow for me.
And but I would see people flying, and I said out loud, I'm like, how.
You can't brake.
Yeah,
not in this. I mean, dude, especially the day after.
You could only I drive fast.
Especially the day after. It was the snow that fell the day before started melting and then just refroze, and it was so slick.
Like the only to me, like I drive. I drive.
Yes.
Like I'm a pretty fast driver, and like the only way you can drive that fast is if you can confidently know how you're gonna brake. If you don't know how you're going to brake, you can't do that. Like, you just can't do that.
We were sitting in the lane, and there were times, I'm not even kidding you, I was getting so stressed because, like, you just start to move.
Oh, yeah.
You just start to move.
And, and you can't change lanes because when you hit that, when the snow pelts in the middle, and you hit that and you slide a little bit.
Yes, you can't, when you go across the middle of the lane, you can't accelerate. So then you have to make sure there's no one behind you.
I would imagine, too, where you guys are driving, it's not as plowed as...
It wasn't terrible. The snow wasn't on the ground, but it was
no, but
rain.
it wasn't the snow. It was
rain.
The sleet.
Yeah, rain.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing is you don't know what's really... When it's sleeting like that, you don't know what's under you. Mm-hmm. When it's snow, you understand that snow, you're fucked. When it's the sleet, you don't know if it's...
You can just catch something.
When I hit the 94, my car literally felt like it wasn't... I had no control on it.
Yes.
I literally felt I had no control of the car.
Absolutely. That's 100%.
And I took my foot off the accelerator, and I just kind of let it go.
It was so uncomfortable and stressful.
Because if I tapped the brake, I felt like I would have spun out. If I hit the gas, I felt I would have done the same thing.
Here's another thing.
Let it go.
I also feel it's a lot of people that haven't been driving because of COVID are back out on the street and doing a lot of things. There's so much recently that I've seen that is just absolutely insane. Yeah.
The last thing is to talk about that, Joe. It's last weekend. We're coming, me, Chris, we're coming back last Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We had like a little Christmas party at the house, or my uncle's house. It was literally the COVID, like mask on.
Yeah.
2 seconds, in and out, exchanging gifts. It was I can't tell you how fucking tired I am of COVID and all this shit. But, we're coming back home, and I got my my dad on my right. I got Chris, and I got my family behind me. And I'm a real big mirror checker. Like when I learned from driving was like the guy was like
that's
checking
the
mirrors
key.
Every 2 seconds. Like,
honestly,
checking to make sure what's going around you.
Yeah,
and
always.
I look back, and there's a huge fucking F-150 sideways on the highway. Like he's literally perpendicular. I'm parallel. He's perpendicular. And it looks like a movie, like Mission Impossible, with a car turning I literally thought he was going to start rolling on top of my car. And I start freaking out. I'm like, what? Everybody's like, what the fuck? But no one could.
He literally drove into his shoulder.
Yes.
And I'm like, and then I look back and I'm like, and the guy, like, he ate the wall. And I'm like, looking back and I'm like, that guy's nowhere near us. And Pierre, like 5 seconds later, is like, yeah, I may have freaked out a little too much. See, that guy wasn't too close to us, but like, Pierre jumped on the shoulder. I'm like, no.
I got so fucking scared because I thought
that's
literally
so important.
Yeah. But the alternative.
Absolutely. He was going dink to dink to dink off cars, and it's like I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah.
And thank God there wasn't weather related. But he just was flying, came into a lane that wasn't available for him. I got sideswiped, and then he just taking cars out.
I'll add one more story to that, and then I'll be done. In relation to checking your back mirror, saw a car on my ass. I saw up ahead. I saw all the brake lights slow. It was like a line. I just saw him coming down the car, and I knew I didn't have enough time because it was raining, and so I pulled off into the shoulder, and the guy went past me and hit the car in front of me. Like he didn't give himself enough room. Didn't anticipate it, but I hit the brake and I saw him behind me, like losing no momentum, and I just pulled into the shoulder, and guy just ended up hitting the car right in front of me.
Yeah, and you know it's like it sucks, but what it is a reminder of is every time I see an accident, the takeaway is okay, what am I laxing? I'm not always. Am I checking my mirrors right? Am I checking my blind spots right enough? And it's a good a good learning tool at least. And everybody out there, like, listen, bad drivers kill you.
I feel like there's two things. Give yourself enough room in front of the car in front of you. And if there's someone riding your ass,
just get over it.
Give it more room if you can't get over.
Yes.
Give it more room so that you can slow down and give them the time to slow down. And then, just check your mirrors, man. Because if that hits in the last second, you know, I got this area clear, or I got that area clear, and then you can just pull off.
Get the fuck away. Yep.
Yep.
The one nice tip my dad always said is, if you can't see the tires of the person in front of you, you're gonna hit them. So, or if you can't, then you don't have enough time to stop.
Mm-hmm.
You will rear end him if he stops immediately. But if you can see the tires, you have enough time to stop and not rear end his ass.
That's a good, yeah.
Well, on that, hey, listen. So we're starting 2020 with a little lesson. Also, if you're out there and it's weather related, just calm down. There's nothing. No one has to be anywhere that quickly.
Stop burning people's asses.
Hey, it's COVID, man. No one's going anywhere.
Exactly. But I'm excited that 2020 is over.
Remind me of next time the podcast was like about a podcast listen to about how COVID and traffic is like an interesting kind of story. I'll tell you.
Okay,
that'd be good.
So hey, listen, there's a little cliffhanger for you. Hey, Chris, how we doing, baby?
Let's go to Paul. Upset on Monday against number 4 Villanova. Bye.
The Bears.